There we go.
Yeah, we're live.
Sorry, guys. I did click live, and we're all just sitting here watching it spin, and I had to double check. We're all checking the actual YouTube link, and we're like, is it live? Is it live? We're live now. As always, guys, thank you so much for being here. Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live. We have a great panel here tonight, as always. We have some more people joining us shortly. So very excited to get the conversation going with everybody. As always, we have Ryan from Mr. Bomb Collectibles. Ryan, it's great to have you here as always.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And then we got CMB here coming in strong with the great meme for his profile picture as always. CMB, I hope you're doing well, and it's great to have you here as always.
Always, always great to be here.
We
Great
appreciate
like-minded
you.
people.
Absolutely. We're going to say what's up to some people in the chat, guys, and then we'll get started. Let's see who we have here. We have 12-inch Moose Dream in the chat. 12-inch Moose Dream says, hello, Mr. Moderator, some guy. Hope you are well. I love that. We're going to start calling some guy Mr. Moderator. I know some guy is in here. Some guy says, May the 4th be with you all on this fine Tuesday. Yes, dude. Really, really excited for May the 4th. Obviously, only a couple days away now. So, of course, what we decided to do, I'm like, why don't we move our news stream to Tuesday, and then we're going to talk about strictly Star Wars on Thursday. So, guys, Thursday is going to be all about Star Wars. Whatever announcements we get for May the 4th, hopefully all Return of the Jedi. We'll be talking about that on Thursday. So, very excited to talk about that with you all. Control-Alt-Delete is here. Control-Alt-Delete says, here to say good morning all. As usual, can't join the full live stream, but we'll have to have it playing and pop in when I can. Well, thank you so much for being here as always. I hope you enjoy listening. It's okay if you can't chat with us. It's great to have you here nonetheless. Of course, we have one of our fantastic moderators, OG Fan. OG says, hello, everyone. Let's go. What's up, OG Fan? I hope you're doing well, bro. It's great to have you here, as always. We have Collector's Entity in the chat. Collector's Entity says, sup, fellas. What's up to you, Collector's Entity? I hope you're doing well. Who else do we have here? We have Sluggin16, my boy. He says, good evening, Hotline crew and fellow collectors. Good evening to you, Sluggin. It's great to have you here on this fine Tuesday evening. I hope you're doing well. Look who it is. We have Jeremy from Plastic Hero Collectibles. Jeremy, it's great to have you here, dude. I love that you keep tuning into the streams. We're going to be doing some stuff soon, I'm sure, but it's awesome to have you here as always, bro. Can't wait to have this discussion with you about some cool stuff tonight. We got Austin Nicholas in the chat. Austin hit me up on Instagram. He's like, dude, don't worry. I will be there. It's so weird. As I'm looking at my screen, my live counter just reset. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's very, very bizarre. I don't know what StreamYard's doing tonight, but hopefully we're still live with you all. But yes. Oh, and speak of the devil, guys, about a great panel. We got a surprise guest here. We got Oilers. Oh, and then we have a mini Oilers workshop as well. Look at that. Oilers, it's funny because that's definitely not a Hasbro selfie series because this actually looks like you. Oh, how many do you have? How many of them are there?
You either die a collector or live long enough to see yourself become a collectible.
All the variants.
Yes, guys. Oilers Workshop is here. My friend Jordan. Guys, you know we're going to be talking about Willy Wonka, and if anybody has been cheerleading a Willy Wonka figure the longest, it's definitely Jordan here. Jordan, you're the first person I thought of when I saw this figure was announced, so I can't wait to hear your thoughts on it because we haven't really talked about it. So it's great to have you here back on Hot Toys Hotline. And Jordan's only going to hang out with us for about an hour, but we're going to start with the Willy Wonka just to get it out of the way and make sure that we can talk about it because there's a lot to talk about with the Willy Wonka guys from Mars Toys. But great to have you here, Jordan. It's great to have you back on the channel, dude. I'm used to seeing you in the chat recently, always dropping your jokes. So we're going to be devoid of the jokes in the chat for tonight, guys.
I'll try to mix them on here.
Yeah, exactly. You got to mix them in here and there. If you have to interrupt me for it, it's okay.
Okay.
We have Tom Daly in the chat. Tom says, hey, dudes, no announcements yet. I mean, don't you worry. Like I said, May 4th is only a couple days away, so there'll be plenty of announcements very shortly. Just keep an eye on the Hot Toys page, that's for sure. Action in the boxes here. Action says, hello, collectors. A magnificent night to all. Yes, a magnificent night indeed. In the DTOF, Owen is here. Owen says 2% gang, 2% gang. What's up, Owen? I hope you're doing well, bro. JB is here, says almost Jabba time. JB, I was joking with Ryan and CMB. I'm like, dude, Hot Toys actually sent me, as I'm about to knock my light over.
You got that
Hot Toys
deluxe right there.
Yeah, I got the prototype here, guys. It just came in today. So I know you guys are really jealous, but there's the Jabba the Hutt prototype. I gave you guys a little sneak peek of that. But No, that's a Funko Pop, guys. Don't take me seriously. Let's see who else we got in the chat. We got Tremble Dust here. Tremble Dust says, how art thou, my good fellows and lasses? I love it, dude. Very fancy. I hope you're doing well. We're all doing well, and it's great to have you here. It's a very exciting week, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. OG said he's disappointed that we didn't get something last night / this morning. I mean, personally, I really expected some releases, if anything. I mean, Hot Toys has a lot on their plate this week with Star Wars alone, so I'm not super shocked by it personally, but again, we got a lot of stuff coming, so don't you worry. Boba Fettuccine is in the house saying what's up to everybody. What's up, Boba Fettuccine? I hope you're doing well. I don't think I've missed anybody. Let me scroll down real quick. Oh, I can't forget about my boy, Eddie Rodriguez. Eddie says, happy Tuesday, folks. Well, happy Tuesday to you. I hope you're doing well. Austin says, I'm taking you seriously. Okay. That, guys, once again, that is not a Hot Toys. Hot Toys. It doesn't need to be said, though. And then we got 1/6 Star Wars Pimpazoid finally. He says, is Hot Toys dropping anything tonight or everything on May 4th? Isn't Hong Kong 12 hours behind, 12 hours ahead of us in time? Yes, so it would be, if we're talking Eastern Standard Time, which is what I'm in, it'll probably be like 12 a.m.-ish, 10:30, in between those times that we'll see these announcements on May the 3rd, going into May the 4th. So, yeah, we'll be able to see that like as a lot of us are going to bed on Wednesday night. And yes, Kaiju says happy Golden Week. What's up, Kaiju? And Kaiju, I actually have your video pulled up because we're going to talk about a figure that you showed off at the convention that you went to recently. So thank you so much for that. Shout out to you. All right, but we're going to get right into it, guys. Once again, I'm sure Ryan is like, dude, thank God we're finally going to talk about this Willy Wonka so he could shut up about it, because I've just been talking about it.
Excited.
Right, they're all roasting me in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook chat because everybody's like, why are you talking about this? Let's talk about Star Wars. Yes, and 8-Bit Flea is here. What's up, 8-Bit Flea? Yes, we are ready to be broke. We are all ready for
to
that,
be fair, every stream I've seen for the last 3 days have been nothing but Star Wars predictions.
Right,
I'm kind of tired of talking about what we want versus let's wait and see what comes, and then we can have our
right. And we already did a Return of the Jedi 40.
Yeah,
stream,
fresh.
Right?
Let's talk about some Willy, shall we? Let's talk about some Willy.
Let's
Wonka.
talk about the man in charge, Willy Wonka. So, guys, I mean, this one is extremely exciting to me. And again, I had to have Oilers on because Oilers was the one who was cheerleading a Gene Wilder Willy Wonka. And again, the moment I saw this, I'm like, yeah, exactly. He had his little pom-poms in his hand. Willy Wonka. Yeah, exactly. So I was really excited to finally see this. And again, the first person I thought of was Oilers because I'm like, dude, he's going to be really excited. So I'm very interested to hear your thoughts, Jordan, because I have seen you commenting on a few posts regarding the figure, so I want to hear your thoughts talking to you live so everybody can hear them. But I want to start by saying, guys, I am a huge fan of this announcement. I've been wanting a Willy Wonka for a long time, whether it is Gene Wilder or the Johnny Depp version. Gene Wilder always will have my heart because obviously this was the OG. This is the film that all of us loved as a kid. So this one is really exciting for me. Not only that, this includes 3 head sculpts. So I know some people had some thoughts about the head sculpt. Some people were like, I don't think it looks like Gene Wilder. I think it looks like Gene Wilder. It seems like people were kind of divided. Me personally, I think them giving us 3 head sculpts is really smart because then you can kind of choose the head sculpt that you like the most. I will say, out of all of the photos that I've seen, this photo was the convincing factor for me to determine this was my favorite head sculpt. I think this head sculpt looks pretty good. Are these head sculpts 100%? Of course not. I mean, a lot of head sculpts that we look at are never 100%. There's always complaints that we'll have. But overall, I think it looks pretty fantastic. I am a fan of this head sculpt, and I very much do like this kind of neutral, slightly smirking expression. And again, this photo really convinced me on this one. I saw some comments, too, about the tailoring of the purple coat that he's wearing. I think it depends on the photo that you look at. Some photos it looks like it's a little bit tighter to the body. Other photos it looks a little bit looser. But again, from what I'm seeing here, I'm very happy. Not only that, we'll see here as we go through these photos, I think the amount of accessories that he included is pretty fantastic. I think a lot of the bases were covered with the accessories. There's not much more else that I would personally want with this figure, and I think it looks pretty good. And I'm very curious, guys, to hear your thoughts of people in the chat as well. because again, there's been a lot of skepticism on this figure overall, especially from people, and we're going to talk about it once we get everybody's thoughts from the panel on this figure, but there's been a lot of skepticism, and that Molecule 8 situation has been brought up a lot, and that's another reason why I wanted to have Jordan on here, because Jordan, I saw you kind of analyzing the responses regarding Molecule 8, and I think you were making some pretty good points regarding that. But Jordan, let's go right to you. I want to hear your thoughts on this Gene Wilder Willy Wonka, man. What are your thoughts on the head sculpts? What are your thoughts on the things that are included? And then if you want to touch on the Molecule 8 situation, you certainly can. But I want to hear your thoughts, man, on this Gene Wilder Willy Wonka.
So that's why you invited me on, because I was sharing my strong opinions.
No, I mean, because once again, like, you shared so much excitement for this character as a whole. That was the main reason. But again, I thought you were making some great points in terms of, yeah, I know, but I truly, I do think you're making some great points, because honestly, I wasn't really paying much attention to that Molecule 8 situation when it was going down, because at that time I was very heavy into Star Wars, you know. So
yeah,
but I'd like to hear your thoughts on the figure.
I think it looks great. I mean, if you are being literal about it, and you can't deny this is the best Willy Wonka we've ever had available to us, period. Because it's the only one, technically. That's what I was getting at with the whole Molecule 8 thing. Mm-hmm. They were never going to make that, and they only made a head sculpt. And every other thing they shared was images from the film. Yeah. They actually never, and the picture that was supposedly the figure was, you can put that picture side by side if you do a Google image search of Willy Wonka, and it's literally the image of Willy Wonka from the film poster with a couple of Photoshop filters over it. I could literally do it for you. So this is the only Willy Wonka figure we've ever been advertised that we could actually purchase, period. But I really like it. I think it's really nice. Obviously, it could be better. I absolutely think it could be better. Right. But I'm happy with it, and if they don't make any improvements on it, as long as the price makes sense, I will definitely buy this. I've had a desire now for a couple of years as a personal project to seek out or make or customize or be patient enough until something was released like this to collect wholesome characters and figures of real people from my childhood, that and make environments for them and share that on my YouTube. I was thinking that this is one of the characters I wanted to do, was Willy Wonka. And so as long as the price is reasonable and I can, make it all work, I definitely want to get this, and I want to make like a Wonka factory environment for him. And now
Ryan,
the Oompa Loompas, that's amazing.
I literally said that the other day. I want that.
Ryan did say that to his credit.
Build the chocolate factory.
He's like, dude, Watch, Oilers is going to make that chocolate factory. So Oilers, we do have pricing on this one. This is live on a few different retailers. So on 1/6 kit. So there's a deluxe set, and then you could buy the Oompa Loompa by itself, so you can get as many Oompa Loompas as you want. But this is $268 all in for the deluxe. So that includes the Oompa Loompa as well as Wonka and all the accessories. So now that you're hearing that price, I mean, do you think it's fair? I personally do, especially like I have a discount code for 1/6 kit, and if you haven't used it before, it's $10 off. So that puts you at $258 all in. I don't think that's terrible.
That actually seems fine, totally fine to me for all the stuff you're getting, and that you get a little mini human orange guy with it.
Yeah,
I mean
that's pretty good too.
Seems fine to me. I would actually get that hat and want to like get it flocked, or maybe order a custom hat that is actually like flocked or fabric, just to make it look a little bit better. That's probably the only thing I would fiddle with once I got it, if it was delivered to me in this state. Yeah. I would just I don't know, I like nice old hats, and I have a bowler hat that's really nice. And so like to me, I'm just looking at that hat, and I do steampunk stuff, and I'm like, I'd like to have that hat nicer, but that's just a me thing. So that seems reasonable. I was thinking if this was up in like the 350 plus range, I'd be like, I don't know about that.
That would definitely be overboard for
but
sure.
But honestly, anything around like under 300, I probably would have pulled the trigger. So
yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I think it's a very fair price point. I kind of want to scroll to some of these accessories here. Now, this was one, Jordan, that I had to have, and I was talking to Mars when he was developing this figure, and it was like in the earlier stages, and I told him, like, dude, like, the one accessory I have to have is the cup, because I have such vivid memories of that scene where he takes the cup and takes a bite out of it, and that's when all the kids like get excited. They're like, oh, this is a big deal, this chocolate factory, everything's edible, So I thought this was really cool that he included this cup. And I love the fact that he not only included the normal cup without a bite out of it, but you also get a cup with the bite in it. And I think that's very clever. And for me, again, when people were making suggestions on accessories, I'm like, please do this one. So this is really cool to me. And I think, again, for the price, I do agree. I think he kind of went all out. He even gave us like a plethora of everlasting gobstoppers. I didn't think we needed that many, but, you know, a lot of people seem to lose a lot of these parts. So maybe it was smarter for him to give us a bunch of them. And obviously those are probably dirt cheap for them to make. So I think that's
You can
cool.
reenact the scene of him yelling at a child at the end of the film if you want with that.
Right. Yeah, you could. And I love Rackaman in here. You lose. Good day, sir. I love it. I love it. And then Owen is another big Willy Wonka fan. And Owen, you're another one, dude. I've seen you really, really excited about this one. And Owen, it's great to have you here. Owen says it's because of that and being burned out that approached Mars for this. Mars was super keen on this. And yeah, after talking with Mars, I could sincerely say him being a fan of this film really shows. He had a lot of excitement for this, talking about it with people building up to it. And then seeing all of the different accessories that this set includes really tells me that he paid attention and really included a lot of the stuff. When I asked him about it and like what type of accessories are going to go with it, he said basically anything he touches in the factory I'm interested in. So I think he delivered. I think he did a great job. And again, I love that he has the little flute here too. That's another funny little scene there. So. And Jordan, I do see what you're saying, especially about the hat. Again, it doesn't personally bother me, but I do agree, like, with a little bit of flocking, I think it'll really bring that hat to life because now that you're mentioning it to me, I see exactly what you're talking about. But again, I think it looks great. If you had to pick a favorite head sculpt, Jordan, which one do you think is your favorite?
So I have not seen the other head sculpts.
Really? All right, so...
Okay, there you go. All right.
So let me see if we have a frontal shot.
I think I maybe just saw the initial images shared. I hadn't seen the rest of them. So
yeah, so this is obviously the one that a lot of people are going to be like, I don't know about that one. You know how like the teeth showing sculpts are. A lot of people are hit or miss on those, so...
Yeah, he needs that sort of kitschy, condescending smile look where he's like, "You're all a bunch of idiots, and you're
right.
about to find out." You know, he needs that look. And this is not. It's getting there, but
right. Yeah, it's good to see that they included it. Like I said, there are sculpts out of the three. There are one or two that I'm like that's better than the other, but I think it looks great. And Oilers 160 is nuts is saying, can you make a small run of the desk? I don't know, Oilers. I think you're pretty backed up right now, right? I think it's a little too short notice.
I don't have time to do anything.
Guys, maybe in a couple years, hit them up. Once these have landed, everybody has
once you forget you bought this and
right, exactly.
Then
exactly. Maybe somewhere over the rainbow. Real quick before we move on to Ryan, what's up, Blue Tattoo? I hope you're doing well. It's good to have you here as always. And Boba Fettuccine agrees. He says $268 for the deluxe set is a great price. Now, Ryan, I want to hear your thoughts on this because, again, I know you're tired of me talking about it, but truthfully, and we're going to take a look at that video clip that was posted today because you said that kind of affected your thoughts on the figure a little bit. So,
listen, I'm a Willy Wonka fan. I won't be getting this just because, you know, it's not that much for me it doesn't fit in the collection. It'll be like a sore thumb to me. But listening to you, and I've owned my fair share of Mars Toy stuff back from the '89 Joker. I know they're going all in on Batman, and you know, between listening to you and Oilers talk about this figure, it just kind of solidifies my point of why I think that Mars Toys could probably be like a company of the year for me.
Yeah.
Just because like I have the 66 right behind me, and that came with a plethora of accessories. And so, yeah, the sculpts are what they are. We can always critique them because they're third parties. You know what I mean? So I think they're kind of held to a different standard than like Hot Toys or something like that. So I think we give them a pass in general, but like for the value of what you're getting and to listen to you guys talk about like how like Oilers was saying, this is like his childhood come to life basically. And like going back and like same thing with '89 Batman, you know, I'm all in on that. Yeah, I was wondering the same question too.
Oilers muted his mic, so I think it was just something in the background going on.
There's an auto tuning shop down for me, and he's testing one of the vintage cars, so it's like really loud. So.
Yeah, but like listening to you guys talk about your passion for it is like that's what it's all about, honestly, with collecting, and that's what I'm a huge fan of. So like I'm all about it, and like so if a company can step in like Mars Toys and fill a gap and provide a service to people to give them something that, you know, allows them to reminisce of their childhood, I'm all for it, man. I mean, it looks great. I mean, for the value, and I made that comment. The sculpts were like a little like I was like the smiling ones. I don't usually like smiling sculpts a lot because I just don't think they either look creepy or like even like the Cesar Romero Joker, like the smiling ones. Like there's one that looks a little too creepy for my taste.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the value, Mars Toys always delivers for you get bang for your buck. Like there hasn't been a figure that they've really made that I can recall that I'd be like, it's not worth the money.
Yeah.
You know, it's not worth the value of what you're buying it. I almost said that about this one because like the sculpt was like, but then when you played me in the Mars Toys video of being able to like when he was like rotating it, I was like, all right, the sculpt does look better than the photos because you're just looking at a still. But when you're seeing that video on the Instagram, on Facebook, I was like, all right, it's fine for whoever wants it. It's good. I like it a lot.
Right.
But
right.
yeah, it's another home run in the catalog for them. I mean, they've been stepping their game up. And like I said, for me, they're on their track right now for being company of the year in terms of 6-scale figures. I mean, for what they're offering to the community, the value, there's nothing I can say negative about them.
Yeah, and well said. And I think this is another great point too, Ryan. 8-Bit Flea says this figure looks pimp. Hot Toys isn't making this, so probably ever. So this will do. And again, that goes along to Jordan's point as well, right? This is your option for Willy Wonka. So
yeah,
it's
well,
good
it's
to
just
see
like
a lot of
89
people
Batman,
satisfied.
and like 89 Batman. They're Batman Forever. They're seeing what collectors want, and they're stepping in, filling the void. So, like you said, like the Riddler, you know, people. It's going to be the only one out there for Jim Carrey. So it's like the same situation. Like if you want, it's good,
exactly.
but I mean, could it be better? But it's going to be the only one out there. So they're filling a void for these figures that we want.
Freeze,
that no one
like
else
Mars Toys,
yeah, like they're going to do it.
Versions.
Like
this
they
is
tease
worth
Catwoman.
Because I was just going to throw in really quick. I've talked to a sculptor about another wholesome character from my childhood that I'd like to have made that I know will never be made. And I talked to a sculptor and I trust them to do the sculpt, but just the sculpts and getting one single 3D print of it is going to be $1,500.
Dude,
I'm going to do it because it's going to be a really awesome thing to have. But I'm like, that's what I mean. Like, I don't, you know, like you're going to be to fork over the cash to pursue this yourself as a really nice, well-made custom. You're looking at like $3,000.
Yep.
You know, so I'm not going to whine about this, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I know like Owen Scott, I mentioned him earlier. He's very familiar with like piecing together a custom figure and the cost and everything involved. I've seen him post many times about his stuff on Facebook, and like Oilers, it's like you said, it's super expensive.
Can I address Kaiju Daddy's comment when I said company of the year? So in my mind, we all, you know, everyone ranks what they mean by company of the year. Of course, Hot Toys is Hot Toys. There's a Rolls Royce. But for me, when it comes to a company, remember the DeLorean failure behind me, how they're going silent. But for me, when I think of a company, have they stepped up in terms of offering a product, the value for that product? Are they listening to the community, taking community feedback into consideration? Are they giving people what they want? Like Mars Toys is very active in the community saying, hey, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of that? Putting up like they're interacting with the community. Yes, they're a third-party company and everyone has their own right to that. But for me, I think that, I mean, next year it could be Hot Toys again. I mean, Hot Toys, I almost kind of eliminate them because they are always out there. But for me, I think Mars Toys has taken leaps and steps bound since then. So
yeah, and
that's my opinion on that.
I think, if anything, if we want to separate it, we could say company of the year in terms of communication, right? Because not only communication, but listening to the fans. Kaiju says, since you have his ear, we need Pee Wee Herman with his bike. Make it happen. Bro, look, there's stuff that I would love to see. At the end of the day, Mars is very aware of what stuff is going to sell. And then a lot of the suggestions that people make, he kind of filters to that. He's like, okay, people are going to buy this, people aren't. I've told Mars many times, I want Warriors figures. We're talking about 70s. Like, I want Warriors figures. That's a childhood favorite film of mine. I would love to see some Warriors figures.
Johnny Cash, please.
Yeah.
I'll take the shoveler from Mystery Men.
Bro, Oilers, I love Mystery Men.
That's literally my third favorite comic book movie of all time.
Dude,
it's based on a DC comic. I don't know.
Boba Fettuccine for comment of the night.
That's Kel. That's his that's my favorite role of his. Dude, when he takes all his clothes off and it goes invisible, dude. I had that movie on VHS as a kid, and I must have like nearly burnt it out because I watched it so many times. I love Mystery Men. Guys, in the chat, who's seen Mystery Men? That is a classic, dude. Oh my lord, I love Mystery Men. That makes me so happy to hear you say that, Oilers, because that's a movie that's been forgotten, and I loved that movie so much.
That movie
as a
was
kid.
about cosplayers before cosplayers existed.
Yeah, exactly. the meetup at the pool when they're testing everybody's
That's
superpowers.
what I'm saying,
Yeah,
man.
dude, it's so funny, man. I love that movie. Junket. That's the part I always remember in the junkyard, dude. Oh my lord, I love that movie. And I saw a couple people mentioning 4-packs and 2-packs. So if you buy through 1/6 kit, offered through Mars Toys, you only get single Oompa Loompas. 1/6 Outfitters made their own packs. They're selling like 5 and 6 packs. So
Wow.
yeah, if you want to buy a ton of them, you can.
Army
Real
building.
quick, before we move on to CMB, I want to say what's up to Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Sean, it's great to have you here as always. I am very interested to hear your thoughts on Willy Wonka. We have a lot of people in the chat tuning in and talking about it as well, but it's great to have you here as always, Sean. And much better lighting, Sean. I think I'm pretty proud of you, dude. You changed your scenery, and I like the lighting. It's a new. We got a new Sean for today's stream. But Sean, it's great to have you here as always.
It's Tuesday, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, relax. We're not at Thursday yet. You don't have to take it that seriously. No, I'm just joking. It's great to have you here though, as always, Sean. All right, CMB. I want to hear your thoughts on this set, CMB, and maybe let me scroll through to the photo. I think this may have the photo that shows everything that he comes with. Yeah. So CMB, I want to hear your thoughts not only on the figure and all the different head sculpts, but also on the accessories compared to the price tag. Do you think this is a fair price for what you get at $268?
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair for you. For $268, you get all those little accessories. You get 3 head sculpts. You get an Oompa Loompa. I mean, you're not going to beat that price tag, really.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, I like Willy Wonka. I like the movies. I think this figure is going to be a pass for me, though. I know it's the closest that we're going to get to Willy Wonka and Gene Wilder's rendition of it. It's just, for me, the head sculpt's a little off, and I don't know. I can't look past it. I can't justify it. Even though it's a good price, I can't justify spending that much money when it doesn't really look like Gene Wilder to me.
That's fair. That's a fair point. You know, I mean, everyone has their own personal taste. Again, the community has been divided on these head sculpts, so you're not alone there, CMB. And if you're not totally feeling it, there's no sense in spending almost $300 on it. You know.
Yeah.
As
you're
much
right.
as you
That's
like the
exactly-
character, you know.
That's pretty much what it is. I mean, I know Mars Toys been pumping out some good stuff, so lately I'm not dogging the company. I'm just saying, for my personal opinion, like, I don't think the head sculpt's there, and the price tag, while it's great for everything you get, I just can't justify spending that much for me saying, well, it kind of looks like him.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair point. And real quick, action in the box. I see some people mentioning. So I personally suggested to Mars that, because he was originally saying, like,
looks
I don't
like
know if I
Gene
should
Wilder.
offer other
Looks-
Oompa Loompa. What did Sean say? That what was that? I'm just in the middle of talking. I just say, it looks like Gene, and then the mic cuts off. Sean, are you in your phone or are you in your Chromebook again? Oh, he's on the Chromebook. He's on the Chromebook because it's so delayed. Sean, you might have to switch to your phone. It's so delayed. All right, well, Sean, please switch to your
No,
phone.
I'm on my Chrome.
Yeah, please switch
Yeah,
to
there's
your
a
phone.
there's a
Sean.
bad delay.
The Chromebooks, retire it,
Oh,
Sean. Retire the Chromebook. Just retire the Chromebook.
Took his
real-
ball
real-
went home.
But going back to what you said, action in the box, I did suggest to Mars, because originally Mars was like, I'm not sure if people would want extra Oompa Loompas. I'm like, absolutely. He's like, I don't have another head sculpt prepared. I told him, Lim Toys and other third-party companies, they release head sculpts later. I'm interested to hear the chat's thoughts. Would you guys buy an additional head sculpt if he released the head sculpt by itself? I think I would. I already pre-ordered this set as well as one extra Oompa Loompa. I would buy another head sculpt, an alternate head sculpt, just to change the expression on the face. And that was my suggestion to him. Obviously, he did put out the pre-order for the Oompa Loompa already. Let me double check on the price. I have not said the price for that. Obviously, the $268 was for the deluxe set. I think the Oompa Loompa was $108, but I want to double check. Let's see. I have to sign back in. And also, guys, really quick, anybody who has had issues signing in and seeing the figures on 1/6 Kit's website, you have to make sure that you email Kit if you're having issues, because for newer accounts, there's a verification process. So you just have to email Kit to sort that out. For whatever reason, the new accounts cause issues seeing the products. All right, so sorry, 104 is the cost for the single Oompa Loompa. So if you want to buy just the Oompa Loompa, that's what you're looking at, 104. Let's say what's up some people in the chat, and then we'll take a look at the video with the head sculpt that he showed. We have Ekwan in here. Ekwan, I hope you're doing well. Great to see you here as always. I did see Mike in here. Mike, I hope you're doing well. Awesome to have you, and awesome to talk with you yesterday over on Aries stream. KTH is here. KTH says, Tremble Dust says the shoveler. And then KTH says, who hasn't seen Mystery Men? That's what I want to hear. But unfortunately, I've brought up and referenced Mystery Men to a lot of people, and they look so confused. So I was so happy to hear Oilers bring that up. Apifly says, my grandma's seen. All right. All right. That's fair.
It's a cult classic.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you? Sean, are we on the phone now? Are we back in action?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, he's on the phone. I already know he's on the phone.
I'm not on the phone.
All right, so he's okay. So it might screw up halfway through the stream. Then Sean, I swear you better retire that Chromebook.
Get his thoughts now.
You better retire that. So, anyways, what I was saying was, it looks like Gene Wilder and the Thurman had a baby, and this is what came out.
And then we got.
I'm wrong. Tell me I am wrong.
So it's Gene Thurman.
Gene Thurman.
Y'all are not gonna do my boy like this. Let me pull up the video.
Gene Thurman as Connor and the Chocolate Factory.
Sean, maybe they'll make a figure of you soon. Augustus Gloop. Maybe they'll make a figure of you soon.
Business.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to go back. Come on, Facebook. I'm trying to find that video. I think this will take me back. No, it will not. Okay. Go home. You're drunk, Hot Toys Hotline. All right, here we go. Let me find this video real quick, guys. When I maximize this, plug your ears because it's going to play a sound really loud for a second. Okay. So this is the video that Ryan and I were talking about. Let me slow it down a little bit so we can get a better look at it. But so this is the video that Mars posted earlier, guys. And again, I think there were a lot of concerns about the color on the hair, that it wasn't blonde enough. And I think seeing it in this video, I think it's a lot closer to Gene Wilder's hair color than a lot of people were expecting based on the prototype photos. I personally do think the sculpts look a lot better here. I think it definitely shines a light on the likeness. Again, if people have issues with the sculpts, I don't think this is going to completely change their mind. I saw my boy 12-inch Moose Stream saying that this looks like Michael Cera. How dare you? He also messaged me that earlier. He messaged me that earlier. He's like, this looks like Michael Cera. I'm like, how dare you? Let's see. Tremble Dust says 2 weeks later at response. Yeah, that's what happens with Sean when he gets on his Chromebook, dude. So we got to wait for his response to come through.
Blah, blah, blah.
Mike says my name was funny. Mike, I will say this. It was an absolute pleasure to hear Lane fully read out your name yesterday on Aries stream. You didn't get me with it, but he said my name was meant to be an immature joke for a day, but after watching you chuckle in the corner last night every time Aries and Lane said it out loud, I feel like I have to keep it. Yeah, that cracked me up, so thank you for that. But you didn't get me. I was and CMB messaged me after the stream. He's like, dude, that name was cracking me up. He's like, good thing you didn't read that out loud. I'm like, yeah, I know. Trust me. Not like Nate. We're not gonna pull a Nate. We're not gonna read out bad names on stream like Nate did on accident. Ghostbusters Plus collector is here. He says, evening fellas, Mars is killing it. And I totally agree. And it's great to have you here, Ghostbusters Plus. Awesome to see you here as always. Yeah, and that's the other thing, Collector's Entity, and that's why I do understand Ryan's point about them being a contender for Company of the Year in terms of doing figures that fans have wanted for a long time. And then again, going back to what Oilers said, like, this is a figure like no one else has taken a stab at. Molecule 8. I was really brought up to speed with the Molecule 8 stuff in the past couple days. And I looked at the photos, and Oilers is absolutely right. The head sculpt was the only thing they actually showed. Everything else, it was all just stills of pictures from the movie, of like the accessories, the clothing. It was all just pictures of Gene Wilder, so to see a figure actually come to fruition is very exciting. And knowing that we're not going to get ripped off because Mars Toys is very much legitimate and here to stay. They're shipping out their products as quick as they can. I recently got the Mars Toys Joker, the 66 Joker like everybody else, and I can say they're the real deal. Is it 100% perfect? Like every figure, no, it's not, but it is a pretty fantastic third-party offering. And the amount of stuff it comes with, the head sculpts, mine had very minimal defects. Overall, I was just very, very pleased with the product that I received. So as long as they stick to that quality moving forward, I'm really going to be cheerleading this company because they continue to make stuff like the Riddler, all this different Batman stuff. They're working on Back to the Future stuff, finally getting Biff Tannen figures eventually from them. As you guys know, Catwoman and Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman and Penguin, everybody is asking for those in the comments in the Mars Toys group. So that stuff is coming. Don't you worry. But Sean, I know you made the joke about the head sculpts, and you're not really a fan of the likeness of the head sculpts. But overall, what are your thoughts on the product as a whole from what you could see here with everything included? The $268 price tag, do you think it's worth the money?
Yeah, it's basically a 2-pack. You know, it doesn't have a lot of accessories and everything else. The Oompa Loompa, I mean, it looks all right. The head sculpt is way too off. I really liked this movie though as a kid, and I liked even Johnny Depp's version of it. But I'm not interested in buying this. If it looked like completely accurate, I know somebody that I would literally buy this for.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, yeah, no.
That's fair. So Sean's not feeling it, obviously.
I think if they spent maybe 2 more months, maybe 3 more months of actually working on it, they could have probably pulled off the head sculpt.
Yeah. That's fair. And Sean, by the way, you're still really delayed, so you might want to switch to your phone because it's like it's cutting you off. I know everybody in the chat is saying your responses are taking forever, but valid responses though, Sean. Once again, going back to CMB's point, CMB is like, I'm just not really a fan of the likeness. And again, for almost $270, you expect to be relatively happy with the product. So that goes for anyone. If you're not happy with it, you know, I mean, this is probably going to be your best option, but if you're not like a massive fan of the movie, I could see why people would pass on it, you know? But I did want to bring this up because this is another thing that I really thought was really neat. And this is a post here on the Mars Toys Facebook page with 1/6 Kit. This is a collaboration between 1/6 Kit and Mars Toys. So just to let you guys know, if you are pre-ordering this figure through 1/6 Kit, that is the only way to take advantage of this little golden ticket, fun little promotion that they're doing. So Mars Toys says, have a little fun with Chocolate Man, which is the name of this figure. Of course, it's third party, so it's not Willy Wonka, it's Chocolate Man. If you pre-order on 1/6 Kit, you will have a chance to get a golden ticket. And yes, they did create a little golden ticket to give out to people, randomly chosen orders. And you could see that here in this promo shot here. There's all the accessories laid out, and this large golden ticket is what you'll receive if you're one of the lucky winners. Now, if you are one of the lucky winners, they say 5 golden tickets with $100 worth of points for 1/6 Kit. And that is only for the people that pre-ordered May 1st through tomorrow, May 3rd. Those are only the people eligible to get these $100 golden tickets. And then there'll be 5 more golden tickets worth $50 of reward points to 1/6 Kit before the pre-order cutoff date. So typically with 1/6 Kit, the stuff does last beyond the cutoff date, but I'm guessing once it reaches that stated cutoff date, which is, let me double check. Let's see, May 28th, 2023. So I guess beyond that date, even if there are still pre-order items available, I'm hearing a clicking noise. I don't know where that's coming from. Beyond that, that pre-order date, I'm guessing they'll cut it off there and you won't be eligible to get, the 1/6 Kit golden ticket. So keep that in mind, guys. Of course, there are other retailers like 1/6 Outfitters that you can pre-order from. Just keep in mind, if you do order from 1/6 Kit, you will be eligible for this really neat golden ticket promotion. And also, guys, I do want to remind you, if you do pre-order from 1/6 Kit and you haven't ordered with this code before, you could use code Hotline and save $10 off. And as always, I'll let you guys know, I don't make any money, don't get any kickbacks, any discounts off this code. This is just a discount code for you all. So if you haven't used it already, you can save $10 when you go to pre-order this guy. So but yeah, I thought that was really cool. Definitely something that I love to see. And again, the collaboration between 1/6 Kit and Mars Toys seems to be a for sure thing moving forward, as they are very intertwined. And I love to see this. You know, this is just something you're getting something extra possibly for just pre-ordering a figure like you normally would. So I definitely think that's very cool. And again, I'm definitely very excited about that. And the final thing, guys, in regards to Willy Wonka that I want to touch on, if we go back real quick, I'm just going to go back to the main Mars Toys page. They did give us a little teaser of something else Willy Wonka. And guys, believe it or not, I guess amongst all of the hype for the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka, Mars did tease coming soon the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Johnny Depp Willy Wonka, and Oompa Loompas. Now, I will say, looking at this is very obviously just a still, whether it's a promotional image or from the film, I'm not quite sure. But this is not the figure, I don't believe. I think this is just a still with an effect on it, just to say, like, hey, it's a little teaser. This stuff is coming soon. But I think this is really exciting, right? It's cool that whether you're a fan of the original Gene Wilder Willy Wonka or if you're a fan of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they're giving fans of alike options. This is another film I very much enjoyed. It was kind of a different art style, totally a different universe, but very cool in my opinion. I really, really think this is going to be exciting to check out. But for those of you who didn't see it, yes, they did tease Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Real quick, let me adjust some comments. Mike says the golden ticket thing is pretty awesome. I agree. Again, it's just something extra for your purchase. You know, I mean, you're already going to pre-order anyway if you're interested in it, so you have the eligibility to win. And not only that, Kit always gives a little card with all of your orders, a little scratch off, so you have a chance to win money through that as well. So I think it's very generous of them to give back to the community in that way. 8-Bit Flea says, y'all tripping. It looks good, at least an 8 and 8.5. And 8-Bit Flea, as always says, its beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know, some people see it differently, so I can't hate on it. All that matters is I like it. You know, that's all that matters to me. If my friends have a different opinion, you know, it is what it is. It doesn't bother me. It's their opinion and they're entitled to it. So it doesn't affect my thoughts on it at all. So that's all that matters. You got to be happy with it if it's something you're interested in, you know. And FBJ, it's great to see you here as always, bro. He says, this Wonka is part of my childhood. I'll pick this up, tempted to army build the Oompas. And yeah, I could certainly see you army building those, dude. I know that's your style, so that'd be really cool to see. I'm only going to get one extra. Again, I pre-ordered one extra, but for me, I'm going to be getting the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory Willy Wonka as well. So we did lose Euler's Workshop. I don't know if something came up or if he dropped out. Sean is now back with us. Apin says the OG movie version is the one to go to for me, and that's fair. That's fair. I think a lot of people are going to be considering that one over anything. Moving on, guys.
Yeah, Connor, just let you know for people out there, because it happened to me and CMB just now. Waitlist conversion for RoboCop. I just got mine, so I actually just pre-ordered RoboCop. So anyone out there who check your emails, because like literally I sent it to CMB, he just got his email too at the same time.
Is
so
this
Waitlist,
for the special edition?
I got
version?
the regular edition,
okay.
But nevertheless, because I grabbed whatever could, because I didn't need the extras, just because whatever. But nevertheless, check your emails. Looks like some Waitlist conversions are sending through at this time.
Nice. So guys, yeah, check your emails if you're waiting on that RoboCop conversion. Maybe some.
And I got a Marty. I don't know why I did a Marty Western waitlist also.
Part 3 Marty as well. So it sounds like they're sending out some
waitlist
waitlist conversions. Yeah, keep your eyes on your emails, guys. Thank you for letting us know that, Ryan, because I definitely would not have caught that because I didn't get any emails. I did already pre-order the RoboCop, so I wasn't on the waitlist, so I would have never seen that. Moving on, guys, to our next topic for third party. This one is, and guys, we did take a look at the other Mr. Knight figure on a previous stream. We did talk about it extensively in the Facebook chat, but I'm very, very curious to hear people's thoughts on this because looking at this one, guys, I got to be honest with you. I think this is the clear winner between this and the previously announced, very previously, about a week before, maybe less than that, like 3 days before. I don't know the exact time frame, but I feel like So-So Toys was like, all right, you guys announced yours. Let's show ours off because they did obviously tease long ago. They had that photo with all the blacked out silhouettes. I think this looks pretty fantastic, guys, and I'm very interested to hear your
sculpt
thoughts.
looks really good, actually,
dude. And I saw a great post, and I will say to both companies' credits, I did see a post where people were like, "Well, this looks like Mark Spector, where this looks like Steven," and people were comparing the head sculpts. And I think that was a very clever way to word it because I very much see that. But just comparing the two, I've looked at them over the past couple days. I do think So-So did a better job overall. I think the details on the suit are better. I think the head sculpt is much better in terms of the details. Of course, these are prototypes, so we're looking at prototypes, but I don't know, guys. I think this one looks pretty good. Ryan, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this, and I want to pull up the head sculpt especially because that's kind of the big topic of conversation. I want to
Yeah,
see
I
if I
mean,
can.
this is my first time seeing this. To be honest with you, I'm not really into. I watched the Moon Knight show, but not really into it, so I'm not following anything like that. And as I said, the only third party stuff I'm really doing is like 89 Batman and anything Batman related. But I mean, I'm looking at this for the first time, and my initial reaction is, I mean, the first thing I saw was that sculpt with the hair pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Looks a little beat up, I mean, from what I can tell, it looks good. The tailoring on the suit, I have to see more from the suit itself. I'm not sure if it looks like the fit. I have to look at more photos. Like I said, this is the very first time I'm seeing like these photos. But I mean, if you don't nail the sculpt, then everything else is like falls apart. But like it looks like, as long as the sculpt's nailed, I feel like anything else, it looks good, man. And supposedly light up function in the eyes too,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
nice, man. I haven't seen a third party do that, like a lot of light up functions. So that's pretty neat that that they're doing that. Hopefully the batteries last longer than Hot Toys. Probably won't.
Oh,
But
we all we all know how that's gonna go.
yeah, so I mean, this is solid, man. What's the price on it?
I have not looked at the price. If someone in the comments can let us know, I do plan on grabbing this one eventually, but I haven't looked at the price. Tremble Dust said he already pre-ordered, so Tremble, if you could enlighten us.
Yeah, I'm curious, and I have a number in my head, like high or low, whether it be worth it. Like I'm hovering around like that under 200 price, if that is too aggressive.
185.
185.
Really?
That's not bad, dude.
That's not
for having
bad,
two.
dude.
Nah, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Now, guys, you do have to get this to like 1/6 Outfitters or Lion Rock Toys, places like that, because 1/6 Kit does not carry So-So Toys, and they never will. So keep that in mind.
Looks good though. I mean, especially if you get that Hot Toys Moon Knight. I mean, it's a nice companion piece, really nice companion. Especially like I said, the sculpt. If the sculpt was trash, then unfortunately the whole figure falls apart. But I mean, for me, if I was into Moon Knight and all that stuff, I would absolutely have this on the shelf because this sculpt is passable in my opinion to be represented, especially next to the Hot Toys version if you end up getting that one. But it'd be a really nice companion piece.
Yeah, and that's kind of where a lot of our minds are going, Ryan. Like a lot of people that are getting Moon Knight like myself, because that figure is gorgeous. I'm really excited to check out the final product. I hope they don't give us a dud with that one, because that figure looks fantastic, the prototype. So I'm just imagining having these two next to each other. And again, I'm definitely leaning towards this one heavily. I just think after looking at the details on the suit, I just think it looks much better than the S Hero one for my personal taste. Boba Fettuccini says, yes, the Gentle Moon is awesome. Definitely getting this one. Matt said, this looks good. Finally getting some Mr. Knight action. And yeah, it's about time, right? I mean, we waited and waited for Hot Toys to do it, and it looks like that ship has sailed, unfortunately. But Moon Knight was a show that I very much enjoyed personally. Out of all the Marvel shows that we received, I think Moon Knight and Loki were my two favorites. So I'm very excited to see some companies taking a stab at this. OG says this figure will allow you to kit bash a Poe Dameron. Yeah, and the sculpt certainly could pass as a Poe Dameron sculpt. I think this one especially could certainly meet that demand, and I think it looks great. Again, of course, we'll see some degradation in the final product a little bit, but overall, I think the prototype sculpt looks pretty fantastic. I'm very happy with it. Trumbull Dust says, I've seen the light up on third-party 112 figures, rare on 1/6. Yeah, I mean, and when they do, I have seen it on the 1/6 stuff, but it's not great. Like I don't have a lot of third-party figures yet, but the one that I have, the 108 Toys Death God, the light up function was pretty pitiful in that. It was very dim, which is a lot of people go through and upgrade it for that reason. Ghostbusters Plus Collector, thank you so much. He says, smash that like button and subscribe to all of these gentlemen. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, please like the stream and subscribe to the channel. Of course, all of the links are in the description for all these fantastic gentlemen here on the panel, so why not check them out? Give them a like, subscribe to the channel. Very much appreciate that, guys. And thank you so much, everybody, for hanging with us. 50 people in here on a Tuesday night. Love to see it. You guys are fantastic. And keep the great comments coming, because I love reading your guys' comments. But CMB, we did definitely take a look at the S Hero, and we had a lot of conversations about that one. But I am curious to hear your thoughts now seeing the full prototype for the So-So Toys one. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this versus the S Hero version.
I like them both. I think that the S Hero version, the one thing I like about it, looks like the clothing fits better. It's more slim fitting.
Yeah.
It's more of what we saw on the show, whereas this one is kind of bulky. Like they made Moon Knight really buff, bigger than he should be.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, but the head sculpt on both of them look good. The So-So Toys one is just a bit better,
Yeah.
in my opinion. But I mean, I think with either company, if you were to go that route, you wouldn't. There's no wrong one to choose because they both look good.
I agree. And again, I like that post where people were kind of comparing and saying, "Oh, this one could be Mark, this one could be Steven." I thought that was really clever, and the hairstyle's totally different on the two. So if you're like a Moon Knight super fan, I mean, if you picked up both, that would probably be pretty cool. Me personally, I wouldn't go that hard on it, but it's really cool. And now, another thing I wanted to ask you, Cigar, is comparing the two. Do you think it's a total miss that So-So Toys didn't include the Conchu like head sculpt and the staff? Because I know a lot of people were like begging So-So, like, please include that. We'll pay a little bit extra. Please include that. Me, I'm like, that is a super cool addition. Those accessories are really cool. I would never put those on the figure personally because I would want him in this look with that either the head sculpt or the mask sculpt. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's like a huge detractor that So-So didn't include those accessories?
No, because I mean, I would rather have a Khonshu figure where he was in his mummified look,
Yeah.
instead of just them giving you the skull and whatnot, so that way you could put onto this figure. Which I mean, not So-So Toys, but the S Hero one, which means that it's almost like they wanted you to buy multiples, so you could get unmasked version of Stephen, Mark, or Jake, whichever one you want to choose. And then you'd have to buy another figure to get the Khonshu in a suit from the last episode ending.
Yeah.
And then you get obviously Mr. Knight.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cool because some people would probably want that, but me, it's like if I want Khonshu, I want a solo Khonshu figure.
Right. I agree. And Boba, I completely forgot that So-So said this. They said if this figure sells well, they'll consider doing a quarter scale Khonshu, which will scale with this 1/6 scale Mr. Knight, which I think is pretty
Dude, that's
cool.
funny because I was talking to Nate saying, watch, some company's going to do like a quarter scale Khonshu from the Kaiju battle scene. Dude, I was just talking to him about that last
Well,
week.
I guess they heard you. I guess So-So Toys heard your cry.
The only thing I'm concerned about this with So-So is that it's all white. I can't tell from the material, not on the jacket, but like maybe the vest or the shirt. I'm just hoping because it's all white, it doesn't have. It's not going to because I think it's a different material. I just hope it doesn't have the boss man, the kingpin issue where the lapel on the vest got turned yellow because of the white. I know it's different. I know it's a different material, but like I'm just saying, like ever since then, I was like, oh man, I look at this all white. I'm just hoping that there isn't going to be like a color stain issue. I know it's a different material, like the one on the boss man. I call it the boss man. It's the kingpin. It was more like a shiny. Like the vest was like a much more shiny material, so like it had that yellowing around the collar for anyone that had that issue. So it was just
and that happened with the Hot Toys Han Solo, for example. Both
like
of those
anything that's
had
like
that same
super
yellowing
white.
issue.
It's just like my Mars, one of my not Mars toys, one of the Jokers that I have, the mime Joker, the white is all yellowed on it as well. So
yeah.
But,
it happens, but you can always launder it too. It sucks that it happens, but you could definitely like put it in some detergent.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome back, Jordan. We were worried about you. You disappeared, but I guess something came up, so I was glad to have you back. We're talking about Mr. Knight. Oilers, real quick, we'll jump to you since you just got back in here. Is this a figure that interests you at all? I don't know if I've ever talked to you about your love of the Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Is that meant to
or
be
lack
sarcastic?
thereof? Or lack thereof?
No, like I'm not interested in this. I mean, it's cool. I know it's a fun design because this design comes from a more modern run from Moon Knight, and they incorporated it into the show as an alternate persona. It's cool, but I'm not going to get it. I don't have much of an opinion on it. I mean, it looks nice presented this way, but I don't really have too strong of an opinion one way or the other on this particular release by So-So. So
that's fair. And Sean, before we move on to our next figure, which is a very exciting one to me that was just actually announced today, do you have any additional thoughts on the So-So Toys Mr. Knight?
I like it. I want to see what the other companies is, like side by side in hand.
Yeah.
I want to see that. But if they came out with a 1/6 Khonshu, I would definitely buy it because I have Moon Knight from Hot Toys already on order.
Yeah. So you could make like the ultimate Moon Knight display. If
go
they
get
end
a
up doing
dead bird and spray paint it white.
So are you saying you're doing commissions on that, Oilers?
Sure, $100 a dead bird.
There you go. If you guys are looking
Just
for a
not
dead bird-
endangered, okay?
Okay.
We gotta have some. We gotta have some morals here,
That's true. You got to cut it off. You got to draw the line somewhere, right?
and don't drag it on the road because that's just bad.
Yes, Matt. I would assume batteries like Hot Toys. I don't think So has dove into the USB power thing yet. Maybe they never will because of the low price point, but you never know. Yes, Matt, I agree. I do think it was one of the better shows. But guys, we're going to move on to our next topic, and this one kind of caught me off guard today. This was a very, very welcome and surprising announcement. But guys, CMB and Ryan, do you think I should start with the bad? Huh? We should start with the bad, right? So we kind of. Let's start with the bad. Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Let's
and
get the
guys,
jokes out, man. Come
all
on.
right, if you guys wanted to have a laugh for today, we'll get a laugh out.
Yo, this is like an insult.
Oh, man.
Just listen. Just
This is wrong.
let
This
Sean
is
and Oilers
wrong.
go first because I think CME and I said enough. Let Sean and Oilers go first on this one.
Yeah, I mean, guys, so I want to start by saying this. Everyone always
Garbage.
says, right? Everybody always says, why does everybody hate like new collectors? Why does everybody hate Star Race? Why does everybody talk crap about Star Race? Guys, this is why everybody hates Star Race. I mean, this is a joke. And this is officially licensed, guys. This is officially licensed. And they have the license for Rocky. They had the license for Harry Potter for years. They lost it, but they had it for years. Exactly. It literally looks like he's melting. Tremble says it ain't bad. Tremble,
Rumor has it they're trying to get the license to Ghostbusters. Wait for that. That's just a joke. It's just a joke. Just a joke.
I think, Ryan, I think you would have a heart attack if that happened. I think we all would.
I would have
good morning to you, Hot Toy Collector from Singapore. Great to have you here as always. Ekwan, I'm not going to get into it. I will just say Kit essentially had an issue with things that the company was doing, so he can't support that. I'll leave it at that. The post that he made long ago may still be up, but I'm not going to get into it because it's kind of a long overdue discussion. CSI is here. He says, this is after Rocky's fight guy, swollen face Stallone. I mean, God.
It's more like punched in face Stallone.
And right. And this is, guys, this is not one of those cases where we're like, it's just the lighting. It's just the lighting. Here's a video of it, guys. I mean, you tell me, people in the chat, you tell me, like, is this acceptable to you? And this is not a cheap figure. I don't remember the price point off the top of my head, but Star Race's prices have steadily gone up. So this is just totally unacceptable. And I feel bad for new collectors who don't know better. And again, I mean, look at the image on the box even. Is it fantastic? No, but even the image on the box is very deceiving. And just to see the final product here, and guys, I mean, Star Race, I want to show you guys just the response of people. I mean, look at all of the laugh reactions and the angry faces and them turning off the comments. Like, they're very aware that people are angry about this. Like, and it shows. And there was a photo here, and I can't confirm or deny that this is actually the final product. It appears to be the same figure to me. But this is unacceptable, guys. And again, it's like, this should have been a telling sign, like, hey, this is probably not the best option to go with for a Rocky 3 figure. So that should have been a telling sign. But again, for newer collectors, you may be unaware of the history with Star Race. So it's like, I totally understand if some people are a big Rocky fan, they're like, oh, sweet, an officially licensed Rocky figure. I'm going to grab that. But this is really what you can expect from Star Race in terms of most of their 6-scale figures. It's very disappointing. Eddie says this looks like a blend of Rob. I do see a little Rob Schneider in there.
Oh my gosh.
I do see a little Rob Schneider in there. Boba Fettuccine says absolutely horrible. Look, even Violet, the sweetest person on the planet, is saying, "Dear God, no! What even is that?" I know. It's so unfortunate. Did Stallone approve this? Well, maybe he approved the
Stallone must have cataracts.
I know, right? I mean, dude, like, what is going on here, man? I mean, it's just, this is like almost as bad as it gets when it comes to licensed figures. Like, this is what you expect from like these fly-by-night third-party companies that aren't well known, and it's like, oh, this is their first announcement, their first release. Slime Fester Stallone, I like that one. Yeah, guys, I mean, this one is bad.
It looks
right?
like someone's wearing a cheap Halloween mask of Sylvester Stallone. Like the way the
I know.
face is like. It looks like like when you wear an oversized Halloween.
It's a latex
mask.
mask,
Like,
not a nice
the
silicone
latex
one.
just
It's a
like
latex
it all
mask.
like ripples on your face. Like it doesn't form fitting. It literally looks like he's wearing a mask on his like. The eyes don't look real. The eyes look like they're like it just looks so creepy.
I know, dude. It's bad. And Ian, I brought this point up. There are some people like I don't think Apollo is going to be that bad. I think Apollo's going to be that bad.
Too.
I don't think he looks great. What will Sideshow say about that? They won't say anything because the figures, for all intents and purposes, are selling. I mean, I don't remember the character from The Boys. You guys can remind me the female character because I haven't watched the show yet.
Oh, I can't think of her name.
But she sold out. She waitlisted.
You know what this actually looks like is the creep that I would watch in Walmart when I'm out there with my kids. Just because the way the stare is and everything. It just like I look and I see people like that staring at my kids. So I'm just staring back at them. Like, why in the are you even around people? You know, this is like the Rocky child molester undercover. Whatever. It's like the creep vibe. You like put it in your collection.
Sean.
People are not going to come over and see your collection anymore.
First name Peter,
they're going to be like, I got this creepy thing.
Yes, thank
I'm
you,
sorry,
Mike
but no, this is just like
all right. So
what they did was they went to the prison. They found someone who looked like Stallone from only one angle through the bars, and they said, "Hey, we need your face," and they used it, and they created this. And they thought it was just the petty crimes award, but it was actually the repeat offender award.
Yeah, Sean's going in, bro. I thought the people.
No, this just sucks ass for a licensed product.
yeah, it certainly does.
Seriously, it's like I went and got some drugs, I snorted it up, and then I threw up and I put it on my face as mascara, and I got my picture taken, and this is what it is.
Now I feel a lot better about Sean.
No, I
on the Willy Wonka.
think Sylvester Stallone is an amazing actor. This pisses me off.
All right,
that
Sean,
they would do this to him.
Look, Sean, this is going to make you feel a little better. Here we go. We're going to go to the good. We're going to go to the good. So, Sean,
Don't disappoint me.
Sly Stallone shop did come through. So this is Sylvester Stallone, his official website. These figures are approved by him. We got 3 versions. We're going to go to the deluxe main ultimate edition version because it shows everything that you can get. But I think he came through with a much better product, Sean. Obviously, we were looking at the worst of the worst. I think these head sculpts are pretty decent.
This looks good. This looks
right.
Good.
Is the paint like top tier? I think it could use some work, but for all intents and purposes, this is a huge upgrade.
I feel better.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said we got to start with the bad first. You know, got to start with the bad first. Got to rip the Band-Aid. Yeah, Sean was going off the rails a little bit. Like I said. Sean was talking about the Willy Wonka, but it made me feel a lot better to hear him kind of go all in on the Rocky. Enhance. Yes, this one is way better. Yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit further for you guys. Let me get a headshot. Again, I think this is pretty solid. Is it like the absolute best paint apps from what we've seen from like the Cobra figure and the previously announced Rambo? It's not like the best paint apps ever, but I think they're pretty decent. I think the likeness is much better. I don't know if you guys have seen, I don't want to mess up pronouncing his name, Indigo Gill, or Jill, I think that's how you pronounce it. One of the two. Gentleman on Facebook, he does head sculpts. This was actually a collaboration project with him, so I believe he did these head sculpts because he posted about it. He said, I'm glad to share my project with the Sly Stallone shop. And I think this is awesome, guys. This is definitely great timing. I think they probably knew, like, hey, now that everybody's completely trashing this one on their Facebook page, let's announce ours. Oilers, I'm curious. Is this something that interests you at all? Are you a Rocky fan? Does this interest you at all?
So everyone is going to get mad at me, but I just watched Rocky for the first time about 3 weeks ago.
Really? Well, hey, one of our panel members just saw
Rocky
Back to the
movies.
Future.
I watched, my first Rocky movie was Creed.
Wow.
And then I watched Creed 2 and Creed 3, and I liked all of those. And then my wife found out that I had never watched any Rocky movies, so my wife made me watch Rocky about 3 weeks ago.
Plus 100 points to your wife.
Yeah.
I grew up
with
sci-fi and nerddom and stuff like, and this wasn't really that. So It's a classic, I know, but like this was not something my mother or father were like, you got to watch Rocky. They're like, Rocky is not like a sports movie about an Italian. Who cares? So I finally just watched it. I'm not going to get it, but it's it's fun to finally be in the pop cultural zeitgeist from 50 billion years ago now.
Dude, I mean, that happens, it's like I said, Collecting Madness, he appears on our stream. He just saw Back to the Future about 2 months ago, and that blew us away. So it's not surprising me at all. I mean, I'm sure there's many great films that a lot of us haven't seen.
I've seen plenty of Stallone films, but I just had not seen any of the Rockies until just recently. So
that's fair. And there's a lot of them, to be fair. There's a lot of them. So once you get into it, like you said, you got to go back and watch a lot of them. There's 3 Creeds, and then you got all the Rocky films. There's a lot to go back through.
Rocky to Rocky 5, then Rocky Balboa, then Creed.
Yep. There's a lot to go through. Let's see. Action in the Box says, now we're talking about Rocky. Yeah, I mean, again, is this one perfect? By no means, but I totally agree with the sentiment in the chat. This one is certainly better, and if this is your best option for this kind of loan shark collector look, as they call it, I think this is a much better option personally. Everyone's saying that's way better, way better. There we go. Yes, this looks fantastic. Looks a lot like him. I do think the likeness is pretty solid. Ghostbusters says still way off, but better for sure. Yeah, and again, this is definitely, again, I don't see it as perfect, but I do think this is much better, and I think this one will make people much happier. Now, we'll say, guys, the pricing on this one, it does come with 3 head sculpts, but it's pretty pricey. You're looking at $380 for this set, so... The silver lining to that, though, again, going back to the main screen.
Connor, not to cut you off. Oilers said he had to go. He messaged.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah.
Oilers, I just want to say thank you so much for coming back on and dedicating an hour of your very important time to us. It's awesome to have you here, as always. Oilers is sick of me praising him, but guys, Oilers is on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, don't subscribe just because you're hearing me tell you. He has great content. I find myself always going back to his YouTube shorts and his videos and just getting lost in it and falling asleep.
I am 19 subscribers away from 10,000.
So guys, please, if you have not subscribed to Oiler's Workshop, 19 subscribers. If anyone deserves it, it's Jordan. He's the most genuine, fun-loving guy. Jordan, it was great to have you on here. It
shows like No, I'm just kidding.
Right, all right. Behind closed doors, you don't know who I really am. No. But guys, please get him close to 10,000. He deserves it. Oilers has supported me basically since day one when I was just still, even though I'm still a small fish in a big pond, when I was a very little guppy in a large pond. Oilers has supported me. He's always been a good friend. So, Jordan, it's great to have you on here. And guys, please subscribe to Oilers Workshop. There's links in the chat, thanks to our great moderators, as well as I have links to not only Jordan's Instagram, where he's kind of Insta famous over on Instagram, but also his YouTube channel. So guys, please subscribe to his channel. Get him to that 10,000 goal because he deserves it more than anyone. And Jordan, I think you talked about doing a bit of a giveaway too when you hit 10,000, right?
Yeah. We're giving away the first live diorama we made live on the channel. It's the diorama I made to sort of emulate the vibe of Jeddah City from Rogue One. It's 1/6 scale piece. So we're giving that away. And I'm going to give away a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm actually going to give away a Hot Toys Tony Stark base, the big circular base. I've had it sitting here for years and I'm never going to use it. So I'm going to give that away. And I've got some 3 3/4 figures, and I've got a Black Series figure, and I've got a drill set I'm giving away to the channel members. And I'm going to give away some kits of how to miniature box making kits and all kinds of stuff live. So we'll do that probably later this month.
Well, guys, yeah, please check him out. Oilers is doing a lot of great stuff over there. And once again, Jordan, thank you so much for coming on. It was great to have you back. It's been a while. Like I said, I'm used to you dropping all your jokes in the chat, so it was great to have a chat with you and great to share the excitement of Willy
I'll be happy to come back at any time. Normally I could spend more time on a Tuesday. It's just this Tuesday I had something come up before you asked me, but normally I'd be able to stick around the whole time. But thank you for inviting me.
That's fair. It was very short notice, so I appreciate you just dedicating at least an hour of your time. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll talk to you later, dude.
Have a good one, brother.
Take care, man.
Later.
So
Gotta
right
love
now,
Oilers.
we need 19 of you to go on and create a second account.
Right,
to
get those accounts
subscribe to
going.
Oilers Workshop.
Get those bots going. Come on, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I have to pull up his channel now. Because can you imagine, guys, if we were the ones that got Oilers to 10,000 subscribers? That's a huge milestone. I mean, look at me, guys. I'm at 1.4 thousand. You know, 10,000. That's a huge accomplishment. So, but yes, guys. Sean, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts in CMB as well. And we can kind of have an open discussion on this one before we move on to some Star Wars stuff. What are your guys' thoughts on this versus the Star Race? Like, I personally don't think it's perfect. However, I think this is much, much better than what we saw with that garbage from Star Race, as bluntly as I'd like to put it. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
Are you kidding? That Star Ace one is so much better than this. You're
That's what I was
crazy.
expecting. That's what I was expecting.
This
Yeah,
is
this
why
one's
you
way
don't
better.
show your face in public.
But no,
No,
yeah.
this one's way better. This one is way better. And it's funny because like this weekend, I actually with my kid we did a Rocky marathon. Went through 1 through 5,
Oh wow,
and then so they just announced this, so that's pretty cool.
that's good timing. Maybe, like you said, you always got to put things out into the ether. Maybe they heard you guys. They heard your call. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is
man,
really
maybe.
cool, man.
I thought it was weird, coincidental.
Right,
Like we
that's
watch it
very
and then
weird.
this gets announced.
Right, very weird timing. But yeah, this is really cool, and I think the dog looks pretty good too. I know we haven't talked about the dog, but I think the dog's cool, and of course the turtles. I mean, how cool is that? I think
Cuff
if
and
I'm
Link.
correct, aren't the turtles still alive, or did they just recently die?
Yeah,
They're still
no,
alive.
he still got the.
And
Turtles,
Sylvester Stallone has
yeah.
them, right?
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
dog Butkus was his dog, but passed away. I think he
Yeah.
passed away like, well, a while ago.
Right, that'd be a really old dog at this point,
Yeah.
but it's cool the turtles are still alive, man. And it
You know
kinda
what's
makes it
cool with
worth
this
it.
figure is if you get a different jacket, even a custom 1/6 for the Rocky 2 look where he's got the tiger on the back. And then all you'd have to do is get a black shirt and a jacket, and you could literally turn this from Lone Shark Rocky to Rocky 2.
Yeah, that would be
you know,
cool. That'd be
Because
really cool.
he's got bandage over his eyebrow, during that because it's right after the fight with Apollo.
Right.
So you could literally just transform it and have your own Rocky 2 figure. Take
Another-
that, Star Ace!
Exactly. Another version of Rocky I'd love to see is like the sweatsuit, the training suit in Philadelphia running up the stairs. I'd love to see that, dude. That'd be like the ultimate Rocky for me, apart from having him in the boxing trunks in any version. But what's up, Wolf Moon? It's good to see you here, bro. I hope you're doing well. Ian says, I just learned that turtle fact a few days ago. Wow, I just marathon dude, everybody's doing Rocky marathons. Oilers, CMB's rewatching. You're rewatching.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
For me, he was rewatching. He wanted
Yeah.
to see it. He's never seen it. So I said, well,
Nice.
time to do a marathon and get you educated, boy.
Right. Oh, Ian said, yeah, Ian, I guess you could make that work. Although Stallone was very much a lot older in the Guardians films, but yeah, you can make it work, I'm sure.
I just watched Rocky 3 with Mr. T on Sunday morning.
Mr. T's a character. He's a character,
Yeah,
man.
that would be cool to have him too, if they made him.
Yeah, remember Hot Toys did him long ago. That figure looks terrible now. Those original Rocky figures are very, very outdated. But yeah, Hot Toys long ago did do Clubber Lang, which is crazy. Rackaman says this is known as the Bum. Or as they would call it here, the Lone Shark Collector. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on the Rocky guys. I just thought this was very good timing. Especially now that I'm learning that CMB and everybody's just watching this, going through marathons, seeing it for additional times. I think that's very good timing, very weird timing indeed. But we're going to move on, guys, to something that was very exciting to me, and I think very exciting to a lot of people.
Oh,
We
Star
got some
Wars?
Star Wars. We got some Star Wars for today, guys.
Wait,
believe it or
oh,
not.
Star
People
Wars.
collect Star Wars here?
Yeah, we still collect
Nice.
Star Wars.
Oh, we
And
do?
perfect timing. Perfect timing. We got the Star Wars connoisseur himself, HG, Commander Green. He says, hey, Hot Toes Hotline and crew. Sorry I'm late. I'm rolling in late. Well, like I always say, dude, you're never late. You're always on time. It is great to have you here, as always. Perfect timing, HG, to talk about some Star Wars troopers, man. Now, guys, this one's very exciting for multiple reasons. Number one, the first thing that got me excited when I saw this, I was like, oh shit, we're going to get a Cal Kestis, finally. We're finally going to get a Cal Kestis. Guys, many times I've said the first Jedi Fallen Order game really, really surprised me. I was very much part of the crew that did not day one order that video game. I waited to see the reviews. Everybody was saying great things about it, so I picked it up. And it was such a fantastic game. So from that moment on, I'm like, dude, we need some figures from this game. Now, the thing about the first game, right, is it sold like triple what EA and EA and all the other parent companies involved were expecting. So they didn't really merchandise the game much because they didn't expect it to do as well as it did. So after seeing the success of the first game, I said many times to people, I'm like, dude, I think they're going to do figures for the second game. And now here we are. It's crazy, even though I kind of suspected it. It's crazy to see this finally being a reality because I just wasn't sure about it. I'm not surprised they started with this one. This was an easy one to kind of squeeze in. It's a very simple figure. But I think this is really cool, guys. And how exciting is it that we're kind of seeing figures come back again from the video game Masterpiece series line? I've said it before. Some of the video game figures are some of the best troopers, especially that Hot Toys has done. I have those Battlefront 2015 Snowtrooper 2-pack. I have those Snowtroopers in my collection. Those are fantastic. A lot of people have said great things about that Jump Trooper. There's a lot of great stuff from the video game line, so it's really, really exciting to see them going back and taking another stab at it. And I got to be honest with you guys, I think this is fantastic. I haven't played the game yet, so guys, if you're worried about spoilers, we're not going to talk spoilers or anything. We're just going to speculate about the figure and some possible other figures, of course. But I think this looks great. I think it's a great first announcement. It's a simple one, but it does have some newly developed parts specifically from the video game. I will say, remembering these troopers from the first game, I was hoping they would come with that riot shield. Of course, again, I haven't played the game, so I don't know if that's completely absent from these troopers in the game or if this version doesn't have the riot shield. But this is really, really cool, and I think he looks great. I love the bits of weathering throughout the armor. This stun baton is obviously really cool. I'm all for this one. In terms of pricing, guys, you're looking at $240 from Sideshow. Not a bad price, a bit on the higher side for a trooper. Of course, we usually see about $220, $235, but not terrible. I think they kind of cut it off really at the maximum on this one, in my opinion. Let's see. Carlito is here, by the way. Carlito says, evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. And Ian, I highly recommend it. It's, again, fantastic game. I'm really excited to play Jedi Survivor. And HG says, I want this so bad, but not sure if I have room in the budget for it. And that's fair. Again, this is one that you may or may not want. I know I saw 8-Bit Flea say this is a pass, but Cal is day one. Guys on the panel, what are your thoughts on this announcement? Is this something that interests you at all, or is this an easy pass, being that it's just another scout trooper? And I know a lot of people really haven't played this game. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this announcement?
Haven't played the game. I won't play the game. I just don't have the time to. It would just be, I couldn't spend the money on it to invest the time knowing I wouldn't be able to finish it. But I am living vicariously through those. I watch a lot of, honestly, the live streams on YouTube of people playing it. So it's not a surprise to me. I guess probably what I'm surprised about is that we got a video game figure. Like, I am and I'm not, but like that we got this released that fast, like the video game figure, so to speak. But then after the, all that, like, it's a trooper, so it's easy to put together. You know what I mean? It's easy. It's a cash grab. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. It's a cash grab. So I'm not surprised that this is the first one that they announced. It's not hard to put the pieces together for it. They're pretty much reusing. I'm assuming it's a scout trooper from like Return of the Jedi or something like that, and then add some extra accessories, put it out there. Interested to see if it comes with a bike, because I did see they put pictures of it on a speeder bike. So I don't know if like that's going to be something that, it's going to be down the road, or it's just there, if you have an existing one, you throw it on there, that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not surprised about it, in terms of this is the figure, because it's easy to put out.
Right.
But for those who are getting it, it's cool. I prefer like an original Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper. I already have one. I might get another one, army build. I just don't like all the fancy. It kind of takes away from the look. It's like if they took a stormtrooper that you kind of know, and then they added extra stuff to it to kind of dress it up a little bit more. So for me, I don't like the overall aesthetic of the figure. I get it serves a purpose in the game. It's just not my cup of tea. But like I said, for those who are grabbing it, I've seen people in the comments like, "Oh, I'm gonna get 2 or 3 of these, like army build them for whatever reason." It's cool. Absolutely cool. And I hope it opens up the doors to other figures from the video game. People seem to be really excited for it. So happy for those who are going to be picking it up.
Yeah, and for me, like, that's the biggest thing. And Mike made a good comment here. He says, I actually think that this is the right figure to announce at this time because it gets people talking and anticipating a Cal figure. Then maybe dropping it on May 4th. You never know. But, yeah, I think that's the most exciting thing about this, Ryan. It's not the most exciting Trooper even that we could have received. Obviously, guys, another one that a lot of people want, including myself, is that Purge Trooper with that airborne-style helmet. A lot of people want that Purge Trooper, including myself. So that would be the most exciting Trooper announcement from these video games. But I still think this is very cool. But, Ryan, I agree. This is one that a lot of people are going to pass on, I think. I think this is going to be a peg warmer. Because, again,
I guess it depends, though. This is like a rhetorical question. I mean to cut you off, but like I was thinking about it sitting there. But do you think Sideshow learned from their mistakes of previous and like didn't maybe get as many of them? So I could
it's going to
totally
have
see
low numbers, yeah.
I could definitely see this thing going blue screen before it actually hits in the stock, just because I think maybe low batch. You know,
sure.
You have two. How many troopers? How many scout troopers do you have in stock on Sideshow? You have the Return of the Jedi. You have
Two
Mando.
currently, yeah. But
and then
multiple SKUs of each.
Then multiple SKUs with the speeder bikes. So
right.
I definitely see this being one that would go blue. I wouldn't be shocked if it went blue screen before it went, just because it's something that I think a lot of people will pass on.
I agree. And 8-Bit Flea is talking about the speeder bike, which 8-Bit, I do think if they would have done the speeder bike, they would have announced both SKUs at the same time. I think you're right. I think this is a reused bike, unfortunately. But again, I was honestly, I hate to say it, I was kind of hoping they didn't give them the bike because I'm like, I don't need to buy another bike. Just give me one version because I'm only going to grab one of these personally. And I'm also waiting for those performance issues to be fixed because I know I'll have issues. I just know it. Matt is saying there is a riot shield in this game as well. They should have made it. I agree. Yeah, I like that look. I was very confused why they didn't include it. But again, I haven't played the game yet. So moving on to Sean real quick. Sean, are you getting 5 of these Scout Trooper Commanders?
No.
No.
However,
4.
I mean, I think
4, right?
Yeah. I think it looks cool and everything, but I haven't played the game either.
Yeah.
If I get it, I would only get one and just put it with my other video game stuff. Like, what was there? I have the Jump Trooper, the Shock Trooper from Battlefront.
Yeah.
You know, and like how they made the old Shadow Trooper before. You know, just kind of weird, but it would go with that stuff there. Now with the regular, like, so this is the Scout Trooper Commander. So were the regular Scout Troopers in the game, did they just not have the pauldron, but they had like everything else that he has?
Yeah, I believe there are different looks for the Scout Troopers throughout the game. Real quick, Sean, I don't want to cut you off, but Mila Snyder with a $10 super sticker. Mila, thank you so much. And guys, real quick, yesterday was Mila's birthday. Mila is a very big supporter of mine. Mila was the one that gave me all of those amazing figures as a token of her gratitude for the content. It was very kind of her. I bought a couple figures off of her. So guys, everybody wish a happy birthday to Mila. Mila, thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
It was very kind of you. And because of that, Mila, we have a special message from a gentleman who's not here tonight. He's actually on his honeymoon. We got a special message from our favorite UPS guy, some guy. This is for you too, buddy.
Now, son, you make sure you get them hot doors packed in there.
Super chat.
What's that?
Super chat.
Oh. Hey there. Heard you gave us a super chat. Well, Hot Toys Hotline and I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that, Mila. That was very kind of you. $10. That is very generous. But yes, guys, if you don't know, if you didn't watch Tuesday's stream last week, we do have some new super chat videos, and we have more being worked on. So thank you so much, Mila. That was very kind of you. And again, a very, very special happy birthday to you. I hope you had a great day. And it's so awesome to see you here and chat with us. Thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it. And thank you so much, everybody, for spreading the happy birthday love in the chat for Mila. Mila is one of the nicest people I've ever talked to. So thank you so much for that.
Happy birthday, Mila. And thank you for the super chat. We all appreciate your hard work and spending your cash here with us. Please know that your contribution to the Hot Toys Hotline goes unnoticed, but very favored.
Where's your video, Sean?
You get custom. You get custom. On the
Apparently,
spot.
it's rated X, and Connor didn't appreciate it.
He never sent it to me, guys. The blasphemy here. The blasphemy.
So you
No,
made,
I actually have.
So you made Sean. I mean, you made Chris do one, and I did 2 of them. Very ridiculous, and yet Sean still never hasn't contributed. I got
No, okay. So here's the thing. So how I've been remodeling everything. Okay, he wants
What
me to do
happened
one next
was-
to my fireplace.
I did
All right,
ask him
the
to
problem
do that. I
is-
did.
The problem
Aggressively.
is all the stuff that I moved from my basement to my living room, and how I am changing my where my old dining room is now becoming my living room, and that's where I'm sitting right now. So everything like where my dining room is going to be is also where my fireplace is. So everything that was in here is now in there, and so eventually I'm going to get in there. But I'm also going to go to like a library, and I'm going to do another video.
Oh my.
Oh
as
God.
well.
God.
And I have considered doing one for my office. So that way
Sean,
he
what
has
is his-
3 videos to go through.
Sean, what is his character name that you made up for Chris? Not Larry the Cable Guy. Who is it, Sean?
Jim Bob the Brown Knob.
So that's his official name, guys. His alter ego is Jim Bob the Brown Knob. There you go.
Can you just make that his handle, like on his live,
I know he should change it. Jim Bob the Brown. And Sid Vicious is right. It does sound like excuses, Sean. Where's our fireplace video, dude? We're sick of waiting. Yes, Wong for life. And good night to you, Tremble Dust. Thank you so much for being here as always. And again, thank you so much everybody for saying happy birthday to Mila. It's very kind of you all. But yes, Sean will be working on his videos. Don't you worry. He's got something cool for us planned. So
I wouldn't half-ass the video for you.
I know you would.
I want to go full.
Not
I want
like
to go
me,
show.
right?
I want to go full Sean Donnelly for you, because all of you deserve your very best from me.
Okay, that's fair. That's what we expect. But I think we can move on from the Trooper. Sean, did you have any additional thoughts before we move on to the next figure?
We haven't heard from CMB.
Oh, CMB hasn't said anything. CMB, what are your thoughts on this Stormtrooper Commander, dude? Or Scout Trooper Commander? What are your thoughts on this figure? Is this something you're going to end up picking up? Are you interested in anything else from the video game Masterpiece series line?
No, I'm going to be getting it. Jedi Fallen Order was one of my favorite games. I mean, when that came out is when I was wishing that we had a Cal Kestis figure. But even back in the day when we would talk about it on Geeking Out, I said, watch, with them announcing Part 2, they'll probably release Cal Kestis with Part 2 now that everybody knows how well the first one did, and then how well the second one's more than likely going to do. So I have faith that we're getting a Cal Kestis, and with this
Me
figure
too, man.
being announced first, I felt that this was like their teaser to say, hey, look, if
Yep.
this is coming, you know that Cal Kestis is coming. This was, I feel like, Hot Toys' way of just trying to do a teaser.
A little
But
appetizer, right?
Yep. But I'm definitely getting this figure. Going to add it to the collection. Just one, though. I don't need a whole bunch. I mean, I got the other Scout Troopers, so I only need one Commander.
Me too. Yeah, we don't need to go full Nate and Sean on this one, right? I'm cool with one,
Yeah.
too.
I'm cool with one. Yep.
Yeah, one works for me.
I'm not going to go the Sean route. Like, oh, I have 28 boxes I still haven't opened up. I forgot I had these.
Oh, I was using this one as a
This
door
number
stopper.
keeps increasing every time he talks about it.
You do buy figures all the time, Sean, like we do, so it does have to increase weekly. But yeah, well said, CMB, and I do agree with that. I think this was just an appetizer, and some people in the chat, who said that earlier? It was Mike. Mike said it earlier. I agree. This is just like a teaser. You know, this is their way of saying, "Hey, we're doing figures for this game. Be prepared. This is the easiest one. We're getting it out of the way." So, but yeah, I totally see a Cal Kestis. I totally see a Purge Trooper. If we got a Marin, that would be just dream come true. You know, to have his love interest next to him. Of course, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know how that progresses. But I would love to see Marin too. That would be really cool, in my opinion.
So the Purge Troopers from Fallen Order, are they the same in Survivor?
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I do think we briefly saw them in the trailers, but I don't remember if they've changed the look up at all. I still think they have that airborne style
They
helmet,
still
which
have
is
the
what everybody
airborne
wants.
helmet. That's
Okay,
all I'm
that's
going to
good.
say.
Yeah,
No
that's all
spoilers,
everybody
but yes,
wants. Yeah.
They still have the airborne helmets.
Okay, that gives me some faith that we'll get something good, you know, from a Purge Trooper announcement. But moving on, guys, and we're not going to spend too much time on these. I did want to talk about it because there's some good and some bad between these two next figures we're going to talk about. Not much to say about this one, guys. I just want to highlight a fantastic release from Hot Toys. I think this head sculpt is gorgeous. I think they did a great job here. Unfortunately, for those of us hoping for this one in the U.S., Sideshow did not get this figure. It was actually very limited. So Sideshow did not get this figure, but this is, of course, the Wenwu suit version. We did get the main suit version. We unfortunately did not get this one in the U.S., but all of those overseas that did get their hands on this one, congrats, because I think he looks fantastic. I love the sculpted in veins and stuff on the arms. The ring box looks awesome. I was very excited to see this ring box. That's what kind of made me interested in this figure. But again, I can't be too upset. I'm happy with the main version of Wenwu, but I do think he looks pretty fantastic. Obviously, the only elephant in the room is that visible joint there, but you know, you could certainly pose him in a way where you can't see that. So I really don't have any complaints about this figure. I think he looks great. Anybody on the panel or anybody in the chat, were you guys able to secure this one overseas?
No way. No. Monica's the only one I think is going to get a chance to get this one, I think.
I think Kaiju, Daddy, Kaiju, if you're still here, I don't know if you were able to pick this one up. I feel like I saw you say that you did, but I can't remember. But yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm not disappointed this one didn't make it to the U.S. I thought it was cool, but it wasn't like I have to have it, you know?
Agreed.
It's just like, hey, if we get it, that would be nice. If not, I do think the ring box is really cool, though. And this was a badass scene, right? When Wenwu takes his revenge and he just rolls up into that like compound with all those gangsters and just destroys all of them and makes his son watch, right? That was like his interaction with his son throughout his whole childhood is making him very much involved in all of his dealings. So that scene's pretty awesome. I really did like that movie. But again, there's not much to say about this one, guys. I just wanted to kind of give Hot Toys kudos on this one because I think it looks great. I think the tailoring looks excellent. I just think they did a great job on this one. And Cigars, you've said many times, this is such a beloved actor. I'm not surprised that Hot Toys not only tweaked to this head sculpt from the original prototype, but kind of gave us an absolute home run with this version and the other version, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they knocked it out with the head sculpt. It definitely looks like Tony Liu.
Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. I mean, I don't think anybody really has any complaints about the execution of this head sculpt or the figures in general. I've seen very positive feedback on these, but again, I just wanted to quickly show this one. And a lot of people are saying they had the other one on preorder, and yeah, me personally, I'm going to stick to that one. I'm going to wait for a deal on that one, but a figure that, guys, really, this is the, obviously, this is the white suit, Yelena from the Black Widow film. This one, guys, is not a home run. This is definitely a very, very obvious B-grade release from Hot Toys. One that they were probably dreading putting the resources towards, but they're like, you know, we got to get it out. So I will say, I will show you guys photos on the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group that make it look a little bit better. But overall, I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the panel. We can kind of have an open discussion and people in the chat as well. I mean, to me, guys, I think this is a very weak release from Hot Toys in terms of the head sculpt. Obviously, the lighting isn't great in these photos, but overall, I think the likeness is about a 6.5 out of 10 for me. This one, I had no interest in this figure to begin with. I don't really like the white looks, and if anything had to convince me to stay away from this one, it was these final product photos. I just think she's very soft. I think the likeness kind of got lost a little bit. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts on this one. What are your thoughts on this final product head sculpt? Because again, I think the body overall looks good. I think the proportions are fine. I think the clothing looks good, but the head sculpt, I don't know. It's just very, very weak to me. Very mediocre. And again,
and it looks, yeah, it's very soft. Honestly, I don't even remember. It's one of those figures that just, I feel like for me, just got lost in the shuffle. Honestly, because it like was such a long time ago that like I don't even remember what the original photos looked like to do a comparison. Nor did I even bother looking them up because I knew this was a figure I wasn't getting. Once again, it's one of those where I feel like delays do hurt figures sometimes because I think really the only people who are getting this are the ones who already had it paid off maybe, and they're like, all right, yeah, it's finally coming. I mean, it'll be cool to match it up with the white suit Black Widow, you know, if you got that. Outside of that, I don't really see people getting this because, to be frank, it's dropping at the wrong time where we're like in the Star Wars and then
long forgotten about too, right?
There's a couple of these figures that are just like really like, you know, you got Star Wars, you got John Wick, you got the Flash next month. So there's just some of these figures that are just honestly, especially from Marvel, that are going to get lost in the shuffle. I think the only ones that we were talking about are Guardians of the Galaxy at this point.
That's true. And John Wick, everybody's anticipating that John Wick and Kane, like all of us on the panel.
Yes. So I mean, everyone wants the John Wick. I think that's honestly the only two figures that could stand up to Star Wars right now is John Wick and Kane. Like those are the only two. Like they came out, they'd have equals popularity because that's what everyone's waiting for. But yeah, it's just one of those that it's an easy pass. And yeah, like just Matt just said, there's probably gonna be a Thunderbolts version of her that I hope they get the likeness like a lot better.
Which would be much better.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna fulfill those people that already had it paid off that want to pair it with the Black Widow, and I mean, they'll look good together. I mean, you can't deny that. But even the hair there, it just doesn't look.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
And
that doesn't look like her. I remember her from the Hawkeye show even, and I was like, yeah, it doesn't look like her at all.
Yeah,
like,
she's beautiful. She's a really good looking woman, and I think I don't know, they just didn't capture her likeness here, and even in this video. And thank you for reminding me there was a video. Sorry, what was that?
Was the original photos better of her? Like, are these the finals? Like, did it drop?
I think slightly better, but even the original sculpt, I wasn't blown away by. I had no plans on pre-ordering this one because of it, and I just think it's kind of a similar case here. And we'll scroll to the photos here of him kind of pulling it out in the box.
And you know what kind of stinks is that what was his name? The red what was in the movie? The father that they never released.
The Red Guardian. Yeah,
the Red Guardian.
Dude, I love David Harbour. I was hoping for that, man.
Honestly, like if he was actually like she doesn't look no, see like she even
the
from
likeness
angles,
is off,
like,
dude. It's really
but like even
really
if they
off.
released him, right, it would probably help sell the figure because at least you could put the three of them together, like him in the center and both of them on the sides, like each side of him. It'd be a cool trio, like as you know, like represented. But like, yeah, there's nothing. I'm trying to save it and I can't save it.
Yeah, and you know, Ryan, often you and I are trying our best to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, even the base is garbage. It's just such a basic, like, yeah. I mean, you'll be sitting around for probably a while.
I think the only solid release from this line was the black suit version of Black Widow, because even like that hair looked pretty bad on the white suit.
Dude, the prototype that they showed off of the Red Guardian or whatever is better than all the figures. Like,
I know, and I was really hoping for that one. Taskmaster, that's a great figure too. Yeah.
That was the best unreleased figure.
That's true. Taskmaster was a good figure too. But yeah,
with no head sculpt.
Yeah, exactly, but I hated the characters. I hated the representation. I would rather have had Taskmaster from the PS4 video game.
Stevie Weeby said, just as I thought, trash. Stevie Weeby, we always have you here, to be honest, dude. Thanks for being here, bro.
She's got a head, like a square head, man. It's like I was saying, I'm geeking out. She's got a Minecraft head.
It's just, yeah, the likeness is just so off, man. It really is. And Stevie Weeby, I know you like to say another Hot Toys L, but this is a hard L. And again, the body I think looks fine, the clothing looks fine, but this is a hard L. Like if MRC can't make it look good,
would you guys get this if this was like dumpster fire discount on Sideshow? Like what would it take for you guys to actually get the figure?
Bro, honestly,
buy a figure I like and this comes free.
Right, like I want this so little, it would be like $100. Like, and that's maximum. I have
pick it up used on like a buy sell trade group or whatever.
Right. I have no interest in this. Again, the Thunderbolts version with the longer hair and the different outfit, I think just looks a lot better. And the actual
Black Widow outfit.
Exactly. I'd much prefer that version. Yeah, 8-bit saying 125 maybe.
Plus, it'll give them time to work on her head sculpt and get it right.
For sure. I mean, and to their credit, the hair looks pretty good. I won't.
The back of the hair looks decent.
Right, that looks good. But then, like, what does the hair matter when the likeness is so bad? You know. Big Dog Pound, I'm going to riot, bro. I'm going to riot. And I know, shout out to Collecting Madness, who isn't here tonight, but he would be very upset, too, because he's a huge fan of that actress, and he likes her music and everything, so he'd be pretty upset. And that's the other thing, Equan. It's like, yeah, I mean, you get a deal on it, but, I mean, is this really worth a space in your display, especially if you have limited space? It's hard to say, man. And if you absolutely love this character, I totally understand, but for me, guys, this is a fail, man. Yeah, you know, after seeing this video, maybe we're talking C-Team. We might be talking C-Team. But again, the body looks good. I have no complaints about that. It is what it is. That's just the costume design. I'm not a fan of it, but the sculpt's not good, man. This is definitely one of the, in my opinion, one of the worst sculpts in a while. And I'm not surprised. Again, Hot Toys probably like, let's just get the Yelena figure out. Let's make sure that Wanda looks good, but let's just get that Yelena figure out, man. You know,
honestly, it was almost like an Endgame Loki, where it's like you got to just get the figure out. You know what I mean?
know.
There's some of these figures that they're gonna take L's on because it gets to the point where it's like you just got like dude, like Wanda. You know what I mean? Like what's going on? Like you just got to get the figure out, man. Like what's going on with it? You just got to get the thing out. Multiverse of Man. You got 2 of her figures actually. You just got to get those damn things out just because it's like, what is?
You know what this reminds me of, Ryan? The Bucky, the Winter Soldier from the show. That one was another one that seemed very rushed. A lot of people had mixed opinions, but I would say this one's worse. I think this one's worse. Yeah, I would say this one's worse. So I don't want to spend too much time on it, guys. But it seems like we mostly have the same opinion. Where this is pretty much like a fail from Hot Toys. You know, definitely very unfortunate. But guys, something
minus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some of like when they move her head sculpt a little bit, she somewhat looks like Scarlett Johansson a little bit in some of her facial features in the sculpt, not in real life. So it's just weird how that would happen with someone that she was with in the same movie. I don't know, especially like when they look down at her from a specific angle with her forehead along with the side of her face and everything around her eyes, it looks like Scarlett Johansson.
I know, and it almost kind of makes it look better to have these headphones on her. It almost looks better to have, which is it's just it's not a test.
That's how you can tell they designed the head sculpt for the headphones, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Yeah. We need to now go buy, if we want this figure really bad, we have to go buy a 1/6 scale helicopter.
I know, right? Yeah, that's what you got to do to make it work in your display. Real quick, guys, I did want to show something really cool, and I once again shout out to Kaiju Daddy for showing this off. But guys, we have a new Rick Grimes, baby.
I cannot wait for this.
And dare I say, guys, I have the season 1 Rick Grimes in the sheriff outfit, and I think it looks pretty fantastic. But this one definitely is very intriguing. I think they did a great job here. Let me slow it down a little bit because I'm sure this is a very brief overview. And we also, of course, have the Governor right next to him, another great-looking figure. And again, 3-0 with the Stranger Things line. They just totally crapped the bed, but they're still doing pretty decent with some of their other lines. And I think this Rick looks great, guys. It looks like he has the same, from what I could tell, the same seamless style arms that the Sheriff Rick came with. Of course, this is from the Season 7 look. Obviously, Season 7 was a turning point for a lot of people because, Negan was introduced in Season 7. That kind of changed the show for a lot of people. But I think this sculpt is pretty good, man. I'm not going to lie. This is a pretty cool
that sculpt for me is fire, dude. It looks a little plasticky, like in the hair. I don't know if it's because of the lighting. The hair looks a little too light for my taste. Same with the beard. I mean, he was more gray, so I know they're trying in the beard. But the sculpt, that expression, like, dude, I was like, we were like in the chat, I was like, dude, that's it. Like, that's him. Like, I can tell from a distance, like, spot on for me. Like, I'm so excited. I love this look. I stopped watching Walking Dead after like, I don't know, 7th season or 8th season. It just got ridiculous after one point. Right. But like my two favorite, my 2 favorite versions of him were this version and then the Season 1 are my 2 favorites.
Yeah, I actually really like the Season 4 version as well when he kills the dude with the machete.
Yeah, I like also
in the church. Yeah,
I don't know what seasons where he was wearing the coat a lot of times during the winter. He would wearing that outfit, but he'd have like a tan jacket on that was like fur around the collar. Like that's another.
Yep, that's the Season 4 look. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? That's the look.
My favorite look. Yeah.
Yeah, that look I like too. Look. Yeah.
Real quick, I want to show you guys a still before we move on. I just wanted to quickly showcase it. I think a lot of people have forgotten about A Walking Dead, but yeah, I think this is cool. It's cool to see that they're still doing Game of Thrones stuff here and there. Again, you guys saw I did a review on the new Hound, the Sandor Clegane, and I think they did a great job on that figure. So I'm very interested to check this one out. Overall, I think it's a cool look. Is it my favorite look for Rick? No, but I think he looks really good. And then, guys, we're going to cover some news before we close out for tonight. Really quick, I just want to let you guys know, believe it or not, guys, the Purge Trooper from Kenobi, people are getting shipping notifications from Sideshow. So emails were sent out. I've also heard that Off the Racks will be getting theirs very soon, which is where I pre-ordered mine very recently. So if you did get an email, congratulations. If not, keep an eye out because the Purge Trooper apparently is shipping very soon. Of course, this is not the Purge Trooper that we mentioned earlier because that has not been announced. but this is from Kenobi. And I think overall it's a great look. It's just something different. I'm only going to be grabbing one of these. I don't need multiples of this one, but I do very much like this design, and I'm really excited to check it out. And this is a release that came out pretty quickly. Are you guys on the panel picking this one up at all?
No,
Yeah,
not me.
just one.
Just one. What about you,
No.
Sean?
No.
Yeah. This is one for me. I only need one. You know, it's just a really cool design, and that's the main reason I want to pick it up. And I do like the announcements that we received from the Kenobi show. But yeah, I thought this was cool, and I'm really glad to see a trooper, especially coming out earlier, because it's much easier for them to make a trooper versus like a figure with a head sculpt. Another bit of news, guys. Just as of today, we had a small, quick restock of Marty McFly and Einstein. I saw some people mention it in the chat. 8-Bit Flea says pass on the trooper. I saw some people mention it in the chat earlier about Marty McFly and Einstein. So yes, there was a small restock. He is back to waitlist, but very random. And congrats to Chris. I did send a text to Chris as he's on his honeymoon. I said, hey, I know you've been looking for this one. And he's like, thank you so much. I was able to grab it. So I was really glad to see Chris was able to grab it. And anyone else here who missed out on this one and you were able to grab it, congratulations, because that was very random indeed. And shout out to Nate for being the first one to catch that, because I definitely got it because of Nate. Or caught it because of Nate. I already have this figure. So shout out to Nate for that. That was very clutch of him to catch that, because he was not showing up on the last chance page. He like went in and out. Ekwan says, I hope you're not talking about Marty McFly, Ekwan. I hope you're not talking about him. I think maybe Rick Grimes is what you're talking about. And then finally, guys, a quick update on some recent wait lists. We've seen some interesting movement, right? Let me scroll down a little bit.
I'm upset that I just found out that the I don't know how long it's been. The Patrick Bateman is waitlisted from Iconic.
Oh, he's been waitlisted for a bit.
Has he? Damn,
Yeah.
man.
A few weeks now.
Yeah, I jumped on the
Few
wait
weeks
list. I missed the ball on that one.
You'll have an opportunity, I'm sure. 8-Bit says, I grabbed it because of you, Connor. I was missing him. Well, awesome. I'm so glad you're able to grab that, dude. I mean, again, that was such a random restock. It really was. But real quick, guys, we got hit with some wait lists recently. Number one. Oh, that's interesting. I can't even click on it anymore, so I won't click on it. I'll just go back to the page. The R5-D4 Pit Droid NBD72 3-pack droid pack from the Book of Boba Fett is now on waitlist, and I will tell you guys, it's been drying up very quickly on other websites. Big Bad Toy Store is now sold out. A lot of comic stores are sold out. I've noticed the comic stores that still have it left are ones that make you pay in full up front. So if you're prepared to do that, oh, okay. Equan says a purchase. Okay. I apologize for assuming Marty McFly. But yes, the Pit Droid pack is drying up quickly. So hop on the waitlist on Sideshow. Look at your alternate websites that you buy from. Hopefully you guys are able to find it. Because yeah, it's drying up much faster than anticipated. And then Crosshair as well, guys. Those of you that aren't aware, Crosshair is now on waitlist, and that's another one. You still have some alternate comic shops to buy it from, but he is drying up pretty quickly. But guys, I think that is it in terms of the waitlist this week. Unless I'm missing anything, I don't think there's been anything else. Guys on the panel or anybody in the chat, has there been anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it for this week.
501st.
Oh, that's right.
Kenobi.
You're right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, the 501st Kenobi Trooper. Let me see if that's on this next page, just to give you guys a reminder. I guess not. Oh, they just reminded me of the Hawkeye that we haven't received, and I'm very upset about that. Let me see. Where's that 501st Kenobi Trooper? I don't see it. Also, guys, Natiri and Jake Sully from Avatar: The Way of Water. Those are on almost gone for the collector's edition. So if you didn't want to get that deluxe with the special base, keep that in mind. Those are on last chance. So pre-order them sooner than later if you're interested in the collector's edition. But there he is. I scrolled right past him, guys. The 501st Legion Clone Trooper is now on waitlist, and I have seen him also drying up on other websites. So, guys, as we begin to close out the stream, I just want to remind you that we have to take a look at what's been happening over the past few months, right? We can't assume any longer that these are all fake outs, because it's clearly not the case, right? The shiny, although not a shiny trooper as we call it, the standard clone trooper from the Attack of the Clones. Exactly, it's not a shiny.
Not the shiny at all.
That standard clone is waitlisted. It's gone, sold out everywhere. The clone pilot, waitlisted, gone, sold out everywhere. Price is already going up on it. The R2-D2 from Attack of the Clones now shipping from Sideshow and other retailers. Sold out, gone. Couple places may still have it that a lot of people haven't found, but sold out and gone. The Clone Troopers, I can almost guarantee they're gone everywhere, unless there's just a hole-in-the-wall comic shop that still has them, which I'm sure is the case. Online, it's very difficult to find them, but that just shows you guys there is some truth to this stuff. I think we have enough data so far to assume that we can't play around with these pre-orders much anymore. At the very least, if you were very skeptical before, I think a lot of you are probably like, okay, maybe there's some truth to this. Maybe it's not just Sideshow playing games. And I think we're seeing that, right? And we're not just seeing that with Hot Toys either, guys. I mean, iconic Ryu, another figure that we've talked about many times on the channel. That figure is dried up and gone, apart from like a couple websites. It's very difficult to find them in the U.S., so it's definitely a testament to the things that are going on. So keep an eye on these figures. If it's stuff that you really want, guys, I would consider dropping a pre-order if you can afford it at the time, because we don't know the certainty of any of these figures. And again, we've seen in recent history over the past couple of months that these figures are not coming back. So I think things have changed. I think Hot Toys and Sideshow and other retailers have a different strategy. So especially if you guys are new to collecting, keep an eye on these figures. Like Ryan just said, oh crap, I just realized Patrick Bateman was gone. It's like, that's how it is right now, guys. R5-D4, there was no warning for that. None. It went to last chance and it was gone within the hour. Shout out to Don Prime. He was the one that first alerted me and many others in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group and in the 6 Scale Survival Guide group. So shout out to Don. He was one of the first to alert that. And guys, you got to pay attention. You really do. And yes, 8-Bit, it is very crazy, and it does force us collectors to be more picky. It's just how it is. And Yomo, thank you so much for being here. As I always say, you're never late. You're always on time, and I hope you enjoy the replay, and I very much appreciate you tuning in here at the end of the stream. And once again, as always, guys, some guys dropping the links to all the different socials. If you're not in the Hot Toys Hotline Facebook group, head on over. Got some great stuff going on there. We always post news in there very quickly. We've got a great Facebook Messenger chat, so if you haven't already, definitely join that Facebook Messenger group. Follow me on Instagram. Guys, I'm on TikTok. Even though I'm slacking a little bit on there, I am starting to post more on there. So thank you so much. And of course, check out all of the different great content creators and fellow panel members here tonight. Mr. Mom Collectibles. We have CMB, often on the Hot Toys Hotline panel, as well as Geeking Out, our boys over at Geeking Out. You can find CMB there almost every stream. So definitely check out Geeking Out as well, guys. We love those guys over there. And you can often find many of us over there on that channel as well. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up the news for tonight. Sean, I don't know if you wanted to go through if you could quickly pull it up, your update list that you put together a few days ago for all of the delays and the pending releases and such. But I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot there to pull it up or if you can quickly access it. But Sean did put together a great list with all the updates. I know some of you guys like hearing that. And Big Dog Pound, I'm so sorry we got lost in the sauce talking about the figures. I didn't give you a proper welcome. And of course, our boy Chris. Some of you guys like hearing that this week. Sean, I know that was Sean. I know it.
Well, I'm using my phone to find the list. So
that's fair. That's fair. But Big Dog Pound, I just want to send you out with a big woo! And I'm sorry that Chris wasn't here with the belt this week, but like I said, my boy's out enjoying his honeymoon. Penn is here. Penn, it's great to see you. Real quick, Sean, before we hear your list, Penn says, caught up on the Scout Commander segment. I am definitely going to get at least one of those guys, and pretty much will be all in on any more Jedi game Hot Toys. And Penn, I know you've been right there with me cheerleading the Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor figures from day one, so definitely really excited with you, and I do think we're finally going to get that cow that we've been hoping for. And yes, we're ready for the May the 4th barrage. And Wolf Moon, yes, you'll have to go back. We did talk about the third-party Mr. Knight figure, so you just have to go back to that segment. And yes, Stevie, that's the only way to live. You got to get lost in the sauce, right? You got to get lost in the sauce every once in a while. And thank you so much, Big Dog Pound, for being here. But Sean, let's hear some updates as we close out the stream on some Hot Toys announcements and figures coming soon.
Okay, so I don't have the whole list of what's coming out. You want everything for the quarter?
Whatever you got on hand, just a bit of an update. It doesn't.
Well, okay. I thought you were referring to like my post that I did about the month of April in review.
Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yep.
Okay. All right. So, about 2 days ago, I made a list of everything that was announced and released. I'm kind of surprised about the amount of people that have reached out to me and asked what's the difference between an announcement and a release. And some people are confused about it. So an announcement is when they tell you, hey, this is coming up for you to order. And then they show you the pictures of it and everything. So they're announcing their new product. And a release where it's released from production and it's now going to the customers. So that's the difference between an announcement and a release. All right, so quick review. April 3rd, there was the Black Panther, like the Transformer version. That was an announcement. They released Wenwu. And then on April 4th, we had the release of the Clone Pilot. April 6th, we had the Return of the Jedi Vader, Return of the Vader Deluxe, and C-3PO. All three of those were announced on the same day. April 17th, Batman Armory with Bruce Wayne. April 18th, release Let There Be Carnage and Let There Be Carnage Deluxe. April 19th, release R2-D2 from Attack of the Clones. And then on April 20th, Cyborg was released. April 26th, released the Venom from Let There Be Carnage. April 28th, announcement, Scout Trooper Commander, Jedi Survivor. Or no, is that Jedi Survivor? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's the second game.
Survivor,
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then April 28th, they released Yelena. And April 28th, they also released the second Wenwu, which is in the suit version. So that's your month of review for the month of April of 2023.
A little busy, right? A little busy. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for keeping track of that. So,
you're welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's one that I actually forgot on my list, and somebody let me know, and I told them thank you, is that the quarter scale Boba Fett's from Book of Boba Fett. Both of them were also, those two were pushed back. I did another list as well of everything that was done and pushed back for, because some things, now they're pushed back, they're not delayed. There's a difference between when you have the expected release time frame, which is from April through September, but they make an adjustment and they adjust the time frame. It doesn't mean the item's delayed because it's still in the original time frame. So they adjusted the time frame on some of those and a lot of those. And there's another list out there that I made for that.
Exactly.
Which we all have, are aware now. Other YouTubers use it, and that's okay. All other YouTubers, you're welcome to use the post that I give out for information. And if you would like to give me credit for that, that'd be swell. And if you don't, then that's a move that you're choosing to make. But we know who you are. Skittles.
Oh, Lord. All right, real quick. Andreas has a question for us as we head out. And guys, by the way, everybody's saying take care, have a good one. Thank you so much for being here, guys, each and every one of you. I very much appreciate you hanging out with us. Real quick, Andreas has a question. He says, what figures do you foresee being next likely to hit waitlist? My money in terms of Star Wars is going to the Attack of the Clones stuff. I think Mace Windu, Anakin, the super battle droids, I think those are certainly on the horizon. I'm going to be ordering my super battle droids within the next couple of weeks because, again, I foresee them kind of hitting that waitlist bucket very soon. In terms of Marvel, I don't know. I'm surprised that the first Wanda hasn't waitlisted yet. I'm very surprised.
What about the No Way Home series? Anything from No Way Home that's still around? It's been...
Doctor Strange is still in stock. The No Way Home Doctor Strange. All the integrated suit. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is still in stock. So
yeah.
Yeah, the villains are all waitlisted.
Yeah, just the villains. Yep.
I'm expecting the ATRT.
Yes, the ATRT is another one. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That one's been sitting on Last Chance for a while. Yeah, and we'll see. And guys, yes, as you're heading out, don't forget Thursday is going to be our May the 4th super stream, talking about all the new announcements and all the exciting stuff. Star Wars, May the 4th. It's all Star Wars. That's why we did this all tonight. Got this stuff out of the way on a Tuesday because Thursday is going to be all about Star Wars. So, and yes, Penn, Super Battle Droid. I think we should get our pre-orders in sooner than later. And thank you so much Stevie Weaver hanging out with us. I love the Tommy Boy reference, by the way. That's a great movie. Such a classic. Good night to you. Eddie Rodriguez, great to have you here as always. And thank you, Ian, for hanging out with us. I know you have a busy schedule, but you made time for us, and I very much appreciate that. I don't have any plans of going to Hawaii, Monica. I don't know where that question came from, but as far as I know, I'm not going to Hawaii unless someone invites me.
I think he thinks you're wearing a luau shirt because, like, right now it looks like the way that
this is
the
my
print was. Yeah,
that's look,
You know, the
this
way your
is
microphone
tie-dye.
was and everything, how that was positioned, I seriously thought you were just wearing a black T-shirt underneath that, and it was like a button-up shirt
No, this
this
is,
whole time.
that's
is
what I was
from-
trying to get at. The pattern made it look like he was wearing a luau shirt and a black shirt under it while it was unbuttoned.
Yeah, maybe. This is from Ashley Eckstein's clothing line. Our Universe. She has like it's her universe, our universe, his universe. Sometimes they have female specific stuff, male, unisex stuff. That's what this is from. I guess that's what Monica. Well, Monica, this is tie dye, pal. This is not a Hawaiian shirt. This is tie dye.
Well, it should be.
Yeah, I know. I forgot my Hawaiian shirt, but that's
Damn
going to
it,
wrap it up,
Magnum.
guys. I know. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Once again, thank you so much, each and every one of you, for being here, dropping the amazing comments. And thank you so much to this awesome panel. As always, guys, please. Okay, some guy, you're throwing me off saying
You're wearing a girl's shirt.
I know. Action in the Box is fantastic show. As a new collector, I am learning a lot. Well, that is so awesome to hear. That is our goal. This channel is not only for new collectors, but veteran collectors alike. We don't always get everything right, but we like to think that we do. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. And
we
I'm
admit
glad to
when
hear that
we're
you learned
wrong.
something. Exactly.
Yes.
Sometimes you get things wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong, but that's it. It is what it is. But guys, that's going to wrap it up. Once again, as always, check out Mr. Mom Collectibles, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Their links are in the description. Of course, Thursday we'll do a rundown of all the new things they have going on. But Tuesday we got to close it out because we're almost at 2 hours, and that's a lot for a Tuesday stream. And of course, as always, CMB. Check them out not only in the Hot Toys Hotline channel, as well as Geeking Out. Our friends over there at Geeking Out. Check it out, Geeking Out. Get them to 3,000 subscribers. Another big milestone. Definitely head on over to Geeking Out if you have not already, which I'm sure a lot of you have, unless you're living under a rock. You got to go hit up Geeking Out and subscribe to them. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Matt. Everybody's saying I'm wearing a blouse and a skirt. Thank you, Mila. Again, happy birthday to you, Violet. Everybody, OG fan, our
Dude,
great
is that a
moderator, some
moo-moo?
guy. All right, yeah. On that note, guys, we're out of here. I
He's
got my
wearing a
rose for the
girl's
day.
shirt.
Take
You
care,
gotta
everybody.